Hey, can you hear me? Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are. It's good to see you. It's been a while, right? Uh, yeah, let's get into it. So, Fernando, Khadija, Mom, Tony, fun for everyone. Hello to all of you, my guys. Leon, just in time. Yes. In today's stream, we're gonna do some cool stuff. I saw this apartment or room a few days ago. Took some screenshots. No, I moved the pictures from the web to PureRef. And yeah, we will be doing this today. I already did the block out, and we will be using GPU Lightmass in Unreal Engine 427. If you're following along, what I'd really recommend is that you open Pinterest and find something that is very simple. Just search for minimal room or bedroom or anything. Make a mood board and yeah, let's get into it. So let me put the chat here so I can see you guys. Hey, M Design, good to see you. Abdulaziz, it's good to see you too. Good morning, everyone. Yeah, early streaming. I would love to do many more of these. So yeah, let's say this is October and I'll do my best. I missed these streams. Okay, good stuff. Good stuff. Wow, I didn't expect all of you to show up. I thought maybe 2, 3 people, but that's amazing. All right, so make your mood board, simple room, something that you can finish whether with me today or wherever you watch the stream again. Find me on Artstation, Yahiya Jassim. Send me your work, join us on Discord, all that good stuff. Also, go to vrdivisionacademy.com, make an account because there are some free tutorials here that are not on YouTube, and you could say I'm kind of more active here. Our new learning platform to teach Unreal Engine. Good stuff. Now, with that said, let's put this on the way. Good day to you, Brad. Rhino. Hey. Wow, you guys makes me happy. Okay. You can use any 3D tool you like. And let's quickly break down what we have. Usually when I find any design I like, let's say this, I look at these pictures, try to identify what is nice about them, what makes this nice, and I try to analyze the space, right? And then I just boxes everywhere. I put boxes everywhere to represent the geometry. If you don't use PureRef, I highly recommend you do. It has some amazing shortcuts like Ctrl F to maximize the screen. Let's say, hey, I want this. Then I press Ctrl Shift A to set this always on top. I can scroll out a little like this, let's say. And yeah, PureRef, it's amazing. Use it. It's free. So this room, we're gonna talk a little bit about like why sometimes we have seams and like weird stuff going on our geometry when we bake the lights. We will get into all of these, how we can fix them, how we can work around them, and all that good stuff. DM Tech, good day to you too. So just let me check one thing before we start. If my picture will annoy you or the chat, where is the chat? Here's the chat. Let's put it here or something. Yeah, let me know if this is in the way so I can move it somewhere else. Give me your feedback, my guys. Okay, So usually, where is my sketch? After I look at whatever design I'm making, I try to make a sketch. Pen, whoa, sorry, pen, paper, and top-down view of the room. Like here's a very stupid sketch. Let me do it very fast again. Just doing a box with, let's say, the bed and the other room. Like this kind of stuff, okay? It's very simple, but this will help you so much if you're trying to model stuff from pictures like here. Or you could use FSpy with Blender. So FSpy, it's an amazing little piece of software. I don't know if we can import FSpy scenes to 3ds Max. I didn't try that yet. But there are so many good tutorials on this, and it's pretty easy to use. Yeah. So after I do my sketch, I make boxes and I export this to Unreal Engine. Okay. So here we are in Unreal Engine. The second thing I'd like to do is to establish my camera, my shot on one of these shots, right? So to do that, I'm using Unreal 427, by the way, with the GPU light mask. And let's quickly, actually, yeah. So the GPU light mask in Unreal Engine, before we do anything else, to enable it, you need to go to Plugins, GPU light mask, space light mask, enable this, then go to project settings, then search for ray tracing. You don't need an RTX card to enable ray tracing. I have 1080 Ti GTX, very old card. Enable this. And don't forget also to search for default RHI, or just type RHI and go to this, platforms, Windows. Switch this from DirectX 11 or default to DirectX 12. Otherwise, ray tracing won't work. Therefore, GPU light mask as well won't work. Once you enable all these options, 3 options, the GPU light mask from the plugins, ray tracing, and default RHI from the project settings, go ahead, restart your engine. Actually, there is also 2 more settings. The virtual light maps. So virtual textures, enable virtual texture support and enable virtual texture light maps. Okay, restart your engine. It would take 5-6 minutes something to recalculate and recompile all the shaders, and you would be good to go. The way you would know you would be good to go, if we go here, once we enable everything, we would see GPU light mask, and it's enabled here. PureRef changed my life since you gave that tip. Oh, nice, good to know. Rhino, Fahim, hey to you too, I'm doing great. It's good to see you guys. How's your day going? Tell me guys, where are you watching from? What is the time in your time zone? So here it's 8:40 a.m. I wanted to do this like at least 2 hours earlier, but I've decided, hey, just put I'm going live soon and just do it. Oh boy. All right, now let's go to place actors, cinematic, and let's just add the camera, click and drag. You can move the camera up and down. You can disable the grid snapping if you like, so you can have more control. And yeah, press Ctrl F here. I would say that we need to change the focal length from 35 to something like 18, I guess. And our room might be too small, but that's completely fine. It's and type the time and tell me where are you watching from, what city, what country. 10:45 a.m. Bangladesh. Nice, nice. It's early, not that early. PM. Wow. Real deal. Staying late. Thank you for joining me, guys. All of you. Okay. One thing you may notice here that the UV mapping on all my meshes, usually before I export from 3ds Max, I select all my meshes and I apply a UVW map modifier, like all the meshes that represent the architectural elements like walls, floors, doors, and whatnot. This is kind of helpful during the blockout phase. So I set this to box, and then I set the to 100, 100, 100, and yeah, basically that. If you're using Quixel Megascans and you don't want to the surfaces from Quixel Megascans and you don't want to like always play with the scale, then put the length, width, and height for 200, 200, and 200, because most of Quixel Megascans surfaces are 2 meters, right? Netherlands, Spain, South Africa, Iraq, France. Real deal. Haraj. Wow, guys. Good stuff. Okay. People from all around the world. Wow. That's what I love about the internet, right? Mexico. All I can say, welcome, Habibi, all of you. Okay, if you have any questions, by the way, on Unreal Engine, anything like within this topic, outside of this topic, feel free to ask, because that's the whole point of this stream, to do some Archviz stuff today and to help you, you know, make your problems unreal. So yeah, feel free to ask anything. So once I apply my UVW map modifier, I go to File, Export. I have DataMath installed already. If you're a complete beginner and you don't have DataMath, just search for DataMath, go here, and install it on whatever tool you use. So if you go to get the plugins, you can get it for 3ds Max, Revit, SketchUp, all these good stuff. How does textile density work with this? Real deal. That's a good question. In Archviz, to be honest, we rarely care about textile density, but when it comes to furniture, we try to optimize the light maps. Sorry, the UV maps. We do the UVW map modifier on all objects because let's say we won't do it. I'm gonna remove this and I'm gonna click export. I usually have my DataMath exports in a temp folder called DT temp. So where is our project? Let's select DataMath. Replace our file. And if we go here to our project again, just click re-import. We want to avoid this because when we apply any surface, it's gonna be stretched. And I know this problem so many SketchUp users are suffering from. There is ways to work around this. You could use triplanar mapping node on your master materials, but that's not very good for performance if you have like hundreds of meshes. So we just apply the UVW map modifier to make sure our textures look good. And for the light maps, DataMath would do that, like the unwrapping would do it for us automatically. Does this answer your question? Yes. So let's go back to Max. Let's select any of these UVW map modifiers. You can click and drag and it would apply the same modifier, so you don't have to apply it again. And let's duplicate the floor so we have a ceiling. And the way I duplicate stuff or snap stuff in 3ds Max is we click S to enable toggle. So here we have a snap toggle. If you right click, I use mainly vertex and midpoint. And I also use axis constraints. Like this is one of my favorite things in modeling in Max. So now what I can simply do is press space, then just make sure Z axis is enabled, for example. click S to like just snap this, then press Shift and put it here. Copy, easy peasy. This, okay. I'm gonna collapse everything because I don't like to have many modifier stacks on here. It would take longer to save the file, and yeah, I just don't like that. So I'm gonna export again. And I'm gonna import again. Good stuff. Now, here we are. I'm gonna quickly just bake our light with the GPU light mask. I like to reduce these to make the bake faster. And let's not denoise for now. If we just simply click build lighting, give it some time, and there we go, it's done. Something feels off, especially the ceiling. Okay, it's the auto exposure. So after you put your camera, import your stuff, usually one of the very first things we do is add a post-process volume to disable auto exposure. No one likes auto exposure. If you don't want to add post-process volume, you can go to here to let exposure, game settings, disable this, and then you can set the exposure you like. And now it won't change the exposure. If you leave the room, go out or something, like this is another fast way. However, because we always use post-process volume, I'm just gonna search for it, add it here, search for infinite first, then infinite extent and bound, enable this, and then maybe search for exposure. The mean and the max EV, let's set them to 1 by 1, so like it doesn't really matter. Let's say put them 0 and 0, same. It would change the mean and the max exposure between these values. So if we make them the same value, it will just stay the same value. Then from exposure compensation, we can exposure compensation. Balaraj, we have any plugin for Maya to Unreal Engine? Unfortunately, I don't know why DataSmith does not exist for Maya. We could ask about this. There is a live link for Maya I heard of a few years ago, but I never tried it. Let me take a note of this. That's a really good question. I know so many Maya users suffering in exporting their projects. Thank you, Balaraj. So guys, if you have any questions, you can ask them, like the textile density, the Maya plugin. If I can't answer this now, or if I don't have an answer now, I'm just gonna take a note so we can answer it later. To be honest, I need to educate myself on textile density more so I can speak more freely about it. I don't want to give you any false information. Isotex. Yes, FPX, Alembic, USD. Yeah, that's one way to do it. In 3ds Max before DataSmith, we used to have FPX exporters. Like we could export just as FPX, but we had FPX export, I think it was called TS Tools something. But that does not exist for Maya. So you may need to find plugins that can help you exporting your projects as FPX or as Isotex said, Alembic, USD. I think USD could be a good way to export your projects. Honestly, I'm not that expert or not that experienced in Maya, but I think I should, right? Give it some shot. Learn about it. Leon, when importing in Unreal Engine, I sometimes have light leaking in between the ceiling and walls, even though it's flushed against each other. Do you have any fix for that? Yes, that's a great question, Leon. We can answer this now. See if we can replicate the light leaks. So I will do actually I'm gonna do it now. So do you have a quick way to unwrap? I'm trying to unwrap bed curtain or closes. It is taking a long time. Fun for everyone. That's a great question too on unwrapping. If you're using 3ds Max, I won't recommend using the default unwrap that comes with 3ds Max. I mean, it's not bad, but it can be painful. The best solution to unwrap, there is a tool called Rhythm UVs. Rhythm UV. That's my favorite tool to unwrap complex objects. If I'm in a hurry, sometimes I use Blender to unwrap instead of this. And Blender have some very cool plugins to help you unwrapping your meshes. This will waste your time. The unwrap UVW mark within 3ds Max. So yeah, if you avoid using this, use any other solution, it could be so much faster. And if you want like the best solution out there, one of them is Rhizome UVs. This is really good tool to unwrap complex meshes. It's so good. I hope this helps fun for everyone. Okay. Let's see if we can replicate the light leaks problem. So Leon, do you usually do this? You have your meshes like this, and you have the ceiling like this, and it's all flush, exactly just like you said? Or is it something different? Because if we can go, let's see if we can replicate this. Like the easiest solution is to increase the light map resolution, but we don't want to do that, at least for now. However, okay, let's do this. I'm gonna put this to very low number and bake the light again. See if we can get some leaks. WMC Club. Blender 3ds Max, when I export time, PPR material not showing, then I manually recreate an Unreal Engine. Any tips? So I tried exporting from Blender to Unreal. Because I'm not that experienced in Blender, I cannot help with that. However, in 3ds Max, when you export, like I think here I'm using also PPR material. This one, I'm not sure if it's supported or not. I think not. I'm using PPR metal roughness just like as a global material. I'm playing with everything. And when I hit export, we get like some materials used in this scene are not supported in Unreal in the data math. So you could keep an eye on the output warnings. I know data math supports V-Ray materials very well. And Corona materials as well. But for PPR materials, because I just recently started using whatever shaders we have in Max, I will take a look at this as well. But if you're using V-Ray, one of the biggest problems in exporting data math usually it's the metallic objects, or like when you have meshes with metallic or specular textures applied on them, data math would go crazy here sometimes. I need to check on this, like why the PPR metal roughness is not supported. Like this is weird. I thought like if we use this, because it's almost the exact same in Unreal, it could work, but unfortunately not. So we will see now. Marcos, hello, how are you? Caesar, it's good to see you guys. So Leon, I did not get any leaks for now, so that's weird. Let's see if we can replicate the leaks. But one thing you can do, like just make sure your meshes are like this exactly, but I think they are. I mean, I thought if we made the light map resolution super low, we could get some leaks. So let me see if we change the direction of the sun. Regarding light leaks, just increase the light map resolution. I had a project earlier, like few months ago, even last year, where I was discussing this problem. So I can show you the videos you can watch, because I don't think I have project on my machine anymore, Leon. And if you could join us on Discord and send me a screenshot of the problem, I can definitely help you, because I'm trying to replicate the problem, but Unreal is afraid. He's like, no, I'm gonna be good boy today. So there is the Unreal Engine lighting tutorial. There's part 4, this part, where I discuss this in depth and how to work around it. So let me send you
Hello,
this here.
beautiful people. It's your boy Yahya.
And I hope this helps you, brother. Real deal. Does working in AC scalar space break anything in data math? To be honest, I don't know. My main usage, like I never render using offline renderers for the past 5-6 years, and I was not involved for the past few years in any movie or anything that uses ACES scalar space. But that's another great question. Let me ask about it, and I'm gonna see if I can make a short video answer on this or something. But yeah, great questions, guys. Ow. I'm sorry I'm not able to give you answer on this. I will do my best. Okay, it seems because I just started using Unreal 427, I don't have the exporter, mega scans enabled. So let's just add this real quick to our project. So I'm gonna open Quixel Bridge. Amazing, Leon. Feel free to share a picture on Discord, on the Unreal Engine chat, or if it's a private project that you cannot show to anyone, you can DM me. That's completely fine. And I will do my best. So, guys, Discord, how many of us here? Wow, almost 1900. It's, wow. Join us. Let's do some cool stuff. And if anyone have any question on Unreal Engine, you can use, there is something we added recently, just a few weeks ago, but I don't think we told anyone. When you have a question, hello, I have a question, right? You can tag Unreal helper role, and anyone who have this role assigned to, they will get notified, and hopefully you would get an answer faster. If it's a general question, you can just type, like we have 3 types of helpers: Unreal, Twinmotion, and General Helper. We're trying to make the server as useful as possible. So, good stuff. Ghost Ribbon, I'm great. Thank you so much. How are you? Emmanuel. Thank you, man. Oh, I hate it when Quixel Bridge asks us to sign in every time, especially in Unreal Engine 5 on the different projects. So, this is my email. If anyone have a question, inquiry, feel free to do that. Of course. Yes. Good. Good. Took 1 click to sign in. So, we need to install the Quixel plugin. So let's go ahead and do that real fast. So I think if we select any surface, so I'm gonna see here, go to export settings, engine version, you need to select the version. So in Unreal Engine 5, it's already integrated. So in this 427 case, we need to select this, and then we need to select the plugin location. And where is 4.27? Okay, I forgot where I have my, there we go. I use a tool called Listari. It's like, if I press Ctrl twice, like this, I get this menu. And usually, if I remember the name of the folder, I just type UE427, like this. Then maybe try, it would click enter, it would take us to that folder. So if I was like here, and I don't know where is my engine, or 426 or whatever, like UE_427, and from here, I can just search for, sorry, can do it here, plugins. You need to read the thingy here, but what would be easier, just go to engine plugins. We need to select this folder, click select folder, and the default project, I don't think we should, like, it doesn't really matter. So I'm just gonna ignore this and click install plugin. Installed. All what we need to do is to restart the engine. So let's go ahead and do that and open the engine again. Quick tip, if you, I think many of you are on Windows. when you have a project open, you can pin that project, you know, to your recent projects. So usually my active projects, I usually pin them. So the following modules are missing or built with different engine version, Megascans plugin. That's new. Engine modules cannot be compiled at runtime. Please, oof. Engine. Murphy's law is real, guys. What should we do? Let's go to plugins. Real deal. What program is that called again? For the unwrapping? Or for unwrapping, it's Rhizome UVs. So here's a link. Or are you asking about a different program, Real deal? Ghost Reborn, your tutorials help me a lot. Thank you so much. Wow, thank you so much. Guys, your messages sometimes, not sometimes, always make me happy. Like every now and then I get message, hey, I found a new job, or hey, I got a new project and I could use some help. And this makes me so happy because it tells me like, hey, I am achieving what I'm hoping to achieve, to help you learn Unreal Engine and find jobs, projects, and like do what you love for a living and more, right? So if anyone of you guys get a project, get a job, get something, just tell me. This makes me so happy and motivates me to keep going, you know. That's the goal. If you go to my LinkedIn, you see my goal is to help 1 million people learn Unreal Engine and build their dream business career. So that's why we are here today. And that's why we have VR Division Academy as well. So join us. It's just gonna get better from here. So what happened here? Like, I'm gonna delete the plugin again. And I will restart Quixel Bridge again. Ah, yeah, real deal. It's, let me find it here. This, I can't live without program anymore. It's so good. It's Listari. Yes. It's so good. Like, the search in Windows is so bad and it's so slow. So this tool, it's like super fast in finding stuff. So if we go to edit, in this case, instead of like the export settings on our shader, let's go to manage plugins. We have our plugin here, looking good. Let's see what else. Export settings is the same menu. This time I'm gonna set the default project, I guess. So Unreal Bedroom, our current project, it would take me immediately to that folder here. So here's another thing I love about Listari. Let's say I am in this plugins folder and I don't want to Control C, Control V, the path. So if I just select this window in Windows and I click on my window here, it will take me to that immediately. So in this case, we selected default project. Where is my project? If you have your project open in Windows, just activate this window, then click here again, and it will take you to that window here. The same in Macs. Like, let's say in tool like Macs, there is no way you can paste your path. So usually, if I want to save something, I just go to the folder, then go back here, and it will take me to that folder. Time savers. So good. Okay, so let's select this project. Let's see, install the plugin again. Hopefully it would work. And brah. Should we, like, this sucks because it took like 10 minutes to compile all shaders and like virtual shadow maps and ray tracing. We don't want to do that again. Anyone had this problem before? The following modules are built. Okay. That sucks. Unreal, why you do this? let's just, sorry guys, but I need to. Mega. Let's search for the problem. Usually that's how I find solutions to my problems. Google. Hopefully we would find an answer. That's weird. Okay. One more thing we could do is check for updates on Quixel Bridge. So let's go to edit, where it was, help. Check for updates. That's the latest version. Set your plugin location directory to engine plugins within your Unreal Engine install directory. We've done that. Default project, it does not matter. Unreal Engine. Okay, one more shot. If it does not work, we're just gonna ignore Megascans for today, or maybe switch to 426. So if you remove the plugin and then start the project again, are we going to have the same issue? No, the project works without the plugin. Yeah, usually sometimes the way I make tutorials, let's say I had this problem and it frustrates me, like it's just not working. Once I fix it, I make a very short tutorial on it, like Blender to Unreal and that kind of stuff. So expect a tutorial today maybe on how to fix this problem. Morphe is low, brah. Ata, thank you, man. Can DataTmet convert Corona V-Ray advanced materials to Unreal Engine, like ambient occlusion maps and distance maps in Unreal Engine? To be honest, I don't have an answer to this. But I could run a test, or if you are with us on Discord, or if you have that project, could you try export and tell me how it goes? So just let me take a note on this. DT. But to be honest, I'm not sure if it would do that. Like the distance maps and because some of these shaders are like especially made to Corona, like I don't know. I'm not sure if it works with this because I never use Corona as well. But we're gonna find an answer to this because now it's recorded here. Update on Bridge. Hey guys, Zona Plus, Fahim. I'm glad you joined too. We are trying to solve a problem with Quixel Bridge. I've just started using Unreal 427, so let's see one final time. So we are up to date. Good. 427. I know it's not gonna work, right? So if you go to our project, one thing we can try is, I don't think it would work either, but we can copy. We can copy from Unreal 426. So I'm gonna type here UE 426. I'm gonna copy this from 426, paste it here. If we are lucky, this could work. I don't know. Let's see. Yeah. The Megascans plugin. Okay, it recognized that this was made for 426. Let's click. It does not want to work. All right. No Megascans today. It is what it is. It is what it is. In this case, what should I do? Because I was really excited about texturing the scene and moving on with it. But Morphe. So in this case, should we continue on this scene? Maybe load one from Evermotion and like see how it goes? What do you want to see, guys? Leon, no worries, man. Have a good day and have a productive day as well. Once I find a solution to that Megascans problem, life would be good. Okay, it is what it is. We can create our textures manually, so let's go back to our reference and see what we have. We have just base color. There is nothing complicated here. Cloth, we can find something on Google, and flooring. I like this floor. Okay, cool. In this case, I'm gonna make a new folder. Call it VRD, VR Division, and let's make a new folder here. Call it Master Materials or Master Mat. Right click somewhere, and let's create a new material. So m_base. Let's create a material instance of this mat instance, and let's move the material instance here. Click mi, rename it mi material instance, and let's call it color for now. Okay, let's open the base. Let's put it here, and I'm gonna hold V, click. I'm gonna make this very simple now. Just connect the base color here. I'm gonna hold S for scalar parameter, and this will be the roughness for now. Connect it here, give it the default value of 0.5, and let's say that's enough for now. Next thing is opening the color here. So let's call this, what is the name of this color? It's like kind of beige. Let's see. And let's check with Google real quick. Is this right, Google? Nope. Thank you, Google. Much appreciated. We should not have space, by the way. Just click enter. Hey, Darasti, how are you? Hope you're having a good day. Good morning to you too. How's life? I'm gonna select color picker here, and that's one other thing I like about PureRef, that we can like quickly select what we have. So I'm gonna select like you know, bright color, this guy. Click yes. Maybe it can be slightly brighter as well. And before I apply anything, I would like to do this. I would like to go back to Max and make my life slightly easier, because these were supposed to be placeholder meshes. So in Max, first, let's move these. These are some, once we get to lighting, I'm gonna speak about these, like how we can deal with corners in to avoid some bugs. I have already a layer called walls, so I'm gonna go to front view or left or anything, select all my walls, isolate view, except for the frame here. I guess these are my walls. So I'm gonna add this here, and that would be for the walls. So usually when I start my work, my design, like my block out or whatever, always at the end, let's say, or during the project, I do this. So I added the walls now to a new layer to make my life easier. I would hide that layer and make a new layer, and let's say this one is floors. So rename. And to the floors, usually I just add the ceiling and the floor because they're usually two objects only. Hide that as well. And the rest, let's just add all of these together and call them blockout furniture. Now, walls, these guys, if we select all of them, okay, if we go to rename and then just type S stands for static mesh underscore walls, right, or wall in this case, rename, that's done. If you don't have this here, this is my special toolbar. I customize, like, here's a tip. Any 3D tool or any program you use, always try to customize the user interface to the tools you use the most. Recently started 2022 as well, so there is still basically nothing. But real quick for Max users, if you like any user actually, just go to customize your 3D tool. In our case in Max, if you go to toolbars, just make a new toolbar. I have one here with a very special name. It's called my toolbar or something. I think I changed it. No worries. Once you make a toolbar, it's gonna be floating like this. You can add it here. And if we go to customize again and go to toolbars, let's say rename. I use this a lot. So instead of going to edit or tools and rename objects, I would just type, here's something I don't like about Listari. It would work over everything, like this software. So let's just disable it real quick for now and search for rename. Rename objects, click and drag, boom, easy peasy. So let's do this real quick. Let's select the blockout, temp B, temp blockout. Atta, thanks. You know, in terms of realism for Archviz, these types of materials play an important role. Let's hope they improve reflective surfaces, caustics behavior in UE5. Anyway, let's continue. That's a great point there. And I'm very excited about like the final release of Unreal UE5 and how Lumen is going to work, especially with transparent objects. I can't wait to see like real reflections on glass in UE5. And you're absolutely right. The color values and all, yes. So floors, rename S floor. And let's do this. Good stuff. I'm gonna export this again, override my data.math file, and go back to Unreal. Click on any of these objects, then press Ctrl B, then just go back one folder. This is the fastest way to find your data.math scene actor, so you can right click and click re-import. Re-import again. We can see here, the room is exactly the same, but the files change. Now, the main reason I do this is because now I'm gonna apply this material instance. I can simply type here S wall. It will filter all the walls for me in my project, and then I can just simply click and drag this and add it. And there we go, right? Imagine if you have a project with hundreds of walls or hundreds of like type of objects. So renaming your project into layers and like proper names is one of the best things you can do to save yourself so much time doing all types of various tasks. For example, applying materials everywhere. So I'm gonna apply this here. Ray tracing is enabled. Because we enabled the GPU light mask, so let me disable that. R.ray tracing, force all ray tracing effects. So this console command, when we type tilde, then r.ray tracing, then dot force all ray tracing effects, if we set it to 0, we should be good. There is no ray tracing anymore because my card is too weak to handle that. Now something feels off. Yeah, it's because we need to bake the light. So let's do that real quick. Sadek Dihawi. Sadek, how are you? First of all, thank you too, man. It's my pleasure. So I have a question about integrated graphics card. can it use in Unreal Engine? You mean Intel graphics cards? I am not certain. I had similar question a few days ago, but it was not. I don't think it's honestly I don't know, but I don't think it would work. Oh, we still have some bugs. Why is this? This is the GPU light mass. I thought we don't have these problems anymore. So real quick, let's bake with the CPU light mask, see if this is going to go away. And guys, if you give me 1 minute, I'll be back. I just need to 1 minute. So just let's do this. Okay, 1 minute. I'm back. Sadiq, no, it's AMD Radeon Vega 11. Honestly, the best answer to this, if you can download the engine and see how it works, how many frames you get. Honestly, I don't know if integrated GPUs would work as they are supposed to work with Unreal. So I baked the light with the CPU light mask now, and the ceiling looks good. So there are some bugs still apparently within the GPU light mask. And that sucks because I didn't want to use Lu Shuang's GPU light mask, but I think we might. And look at that. We have some light leaks with the CPU light mask. The reason is because, like, hey, why do we have this? So I'm happy. Like, I wish Leon was here to see. So here we also have some light leaks, right? Well, here's the sun. Wait, sorry. Directional light. So the sun, if we look at its direction, it's coming this way, like this way, right? And for some reason, we have a massive light leak here. There are so many ways to work around this. Like my mesh is, the main reason is because the light map resolution, that's one of the main reasons you could have light leaks. Of course, assuming that your meshes are like perfectly aligning with each other like this. Like this is not supposed to happen. Well, it happens. Why? Because the look at me saying that again. The light map resolution here is way too low. So I'm gonna take screenshot. The light map resolution is 16. If we put this 64, then build the light again. The leak would slightly be less. It's because it's applying this texture map on all the surface here, and here it is very bright, and here it's a complete different lighting scenario. So when that texture is applied and like as you saw it's extremely low quality, we get that leak. Okay, so I bake the light now. We increase the resolution from 16 to 64, and the light leak is gone. And usually, if you don't want to work with light leaks, because earlier we still had this on 16, but we used the GPU light mask. GPU light mask helps a lot with light leaks. So did it work? Oh, it worked. You see, this is 16 again, but we don't have a light leak here. We have something weird here though, and the ceiling again. So why this is happening to the ceiling, I don't know. Let's change the light map resolution on it. Should see if we bake. I'm gonna take screenshot of this because this is a serious problem. This is what is preventing me from using the GPU light mask, the official GPU light mask so far. And I think preventing so many others. So if you open the static mesh, and if you go to the UVs, I don't know why that's happening. Let's try something. I don't know, but let's unhide all except for this. And I'm gonna select these walls, put them here, and have another, like basically just another room above our room. Let's see. I'm gonna export again. Hey everyone. 360 Productions. How are you? Mehdi. Good to see you guys. Ghost Reborn. Yes. Hopefully we would fix this now. I don't know. David. Welcome. Hello. Wow. Okay, so let's click re-import. And one thing I want to do is to enable this show advanced, go to static mesh options, min and max. I'm gonna keep both of these on the lowest quality as possible because now yeah, I can't open, but you saw like the light map resolution on this part was 1512. I don't want that when I start building my projects. So let's see GPU light mask again. Let's increase these to the default settings and let's keep denoise disabled. Hello from Uzbekistan. Inquisitive. Hello, my guys. Wow. Where are you guys watching from? So we have people from India, USA, Spain, Uzbekistan. Parnav. Hey, my guys. Leo. Nice, nice. Welcome, everyone. All right. This look slightly better, but I don't think it was because of the room we added here. It could be because we increased the GI samples. So let's do a quick test. I'm gonna delete these. And I'm gonna go here again. Usually the way I debug my stuff, like the good old days, used to take screenshot and let's build light again. Look exactly the same. So it is building the light on slow mode. If you want your light build with the GPU light mask to be faster, we need to real-time off. So viewport real-time is off. It would go so much faster. So this one has material on it. There is a bug they solved, by the way, I just noticed. In 426, the official GPU light mask, if we had meshes that has no material on them, they would look completely black. So I'm glad they fixed this. So if we go like 1024, same. That's weird. That is weird. Do you use UE5? Yes, I use UE5 all the time. In today's tutorial, I thought I would use UE4 because in Archviz, so many of us, we still use, we still bake lights, especially if our project is for virtual reality. I'm so excited about Lumen. Once we get the final version of UE5. Let's see if denoise is gonna do anything. Let's reduce this back again, increase this. Let's just enable some options, see if anything is going to happen. Click here and the same. Actually, it's better, but the color is still so weird. And I'm gonna switch the skylight to static, okay, instead of stationary, because like this feels weird. So static, when we're making our lights, it's better if you keep stuff on static. Let's build light again, but it won't change anything. And the room looks kind of more better. So sun, beautiful day today. It was raining all the time, but now we have the sun. So let me just disable the sun. Disable the sun. Sun is no more. Nice. Now this is annoying me. And yeah. Interesting. So when we have the skylight on static, the meshes without materials are going to seem black. So that's interesting. And for this, let's increase the light map resolution to 64. And for now, my temp block out furniture, these guys, I'm gonna isolate them, and I'm gonna make a duplicate of my material instance and make a white color. Okay, grayish, and simply assign. Okay, and isolate my stuff. Let's click build again real quick. Mehdi, yo, hi, how are you? Back to nature from Kerala. Nice. Nice, guys. Okay, Rhino, do you think GPU light mask mess it up when skylight and directional light is on stationary? I think so. Because when we changed the skylight to static, like we had massive difference. Okay, do you remember the light leak here? It's gone, thankfully. So increasing light map resolution, and we didn't go crazy, we're still like 64. But if if you have much lower values, like here we have still 16, we're gonna have these light leaks, okay? Because here it's way too bright, it's leaking to this part. So I'm gonna make this also 64, and let's build again and see if this is going to stay bright. It is. And why is that? Should we increase it more? Because I don't want to. Okay, let's do slightly more. Okay. By increasing the light map resolution, by the way, you don't have to use power of 2 numbers. You can use any number you like. And we're gonna quickly visualize our light maps. But yeah, light leaks, you can get rid of them by making sure your geometry is like, what is the word for that? Let me show you something. If we don't want to increase the light map resolution just like we did earlier on the floor, let's say, then this part of the mesh here that is getting lit from here, we need to detach it, like the corners, if you don't want to increase the light map resolution. But now let's just assign another material here because the floor is way too black, dark. That's not good. Let's bake light again. And let me put the chat here so I can see you, my guys. Sunny Dev, hello. My guys, wow. Good stuff. How are you? If anyone have any question, if I don't have an answer for it now, still you can ask it. I will do my best to answer it. If not, I'm just taking notes. And I'm very happy to be like, to to be live again. I'm gonna do more of these, promise. Okay, we are slowly but surely getting better results, and like this is weird. I like things to be consistent, but we went from here, and I think the main reason we had this on the ceiling, it simply needed increasing the GI samples and the light map resolution on our ceiling as well. So it went from this to this, which is way much better. But there are still things we can improve on. I'm gonna put this here for now. Adam, CSA, hello. Sunny Dev, hello again. How are you guys? Real deal. So to get to this GPU light mask window, you use the build button on the top. Yeah, this window, I'm gonna repeat again. If you go here next to build, you will find the GPU light mask here. However, to find this here, there are a few options we need to enable. If we go to edit, plugins, GPU light mask, if you enable this and restart your engine, you would see the GPU light mask here. If you click on it, this one will be disabled because we need to enable ray tracing for GPU light mask. And to enable that, go to project settings and search for ray tracing, enable it. Also search for default RHI, so platform Windows DirectX 11 here. The default RHI in the Windows platform, we need to change this from default to DirectX 12, and usually that's enough. However, if you also want to see the, I'm gonna increase the resolution here so we can see. No, not that much. Bruh. Let's say this. If you want to see the progress bars, these guys, okay, like this here, we need to enable virtual shadow maps. And I do recommend enabling virtual shadow maps. Virtual texture maps. Did I say even that right? Virtual texture, yeah, virtual texture support. Enable this and enable it also on the light maps, and you would be able to see the progress bars every time we bake our light. All right, I hope this helps. Real deal. Sunny Dev, have you used UE5? Yes, almost every day. And we will also go, like, once we finish this scene, we can move it to Unreal Engine 5 and compare it with Lumen and Light Bakes, see if we can do anything. In today's tutorial, I wanted to use UE4 because we are still baking lights, like as in Archviz scene, right? Okay, so let's look back. Let's look back at our reference and see what we want to do. Should we do some 3D modeling or should we go with the lights and whatnot? I'm gonna put some placeholders for the lights so we can have better representation of our apartment here. So we do have lights on these areas and on the bed. These got my attention. I like these. So let's go back to Unreal. And let's go to place actors, lights. We can use rectangular light. I'm gonna press G to toggle game mode so we can see our rectangular light. And from the third width and height, we can change these. I'm gonna also, I don't want barn door, so we can take from 20 to 0. In Inquisitive, how do you think Unreal Engine is the future, or will static image rendering be in demand for a long time? There are so many answers to this. If your goal as, let's say, an architectural visualizer, to make only still images or just a simple video, like that's it, I would recommend, like, still you need to dabble with UE5 or UE4, but Unreal Engine is used more for much more than this, than just creating static images and videos. I mean, imagine the difference when you present your project to the customer or to the people who are responsible on specific project, where you give them pictures, still images, or when you give them the ability to enter the project, whether in virtual reality or just in keyboard and mouse, and walk around it. How this would change how they take decisions on the project, whether in design, in construction, or like how to use the space. That's one. So the demand for Unreal Engine is booming for like many reasons. And let's forget about architecture. Let's just speak Unreal Engine in general. The main reason I recommend to everyone learn Unreal Engine is because sorry, you could start with architecture, right? And use it for 1, 2, 3 years in architecture, and you get so good at it. Well, imagine the other industries you can enter because you only know Unreal Engine and how to make maybe amazing scenes, amazing animations. So I think the future, like what I like about Unreal Engine is like it's the final step almost for, let's say in architecture, you have a team, people using Revit, SketchUp, 3ds Max, like where all these files go, they go to the engine, right? And you can do whatever you want with the engine, because in Unreal Engine with Blueprint and like this good stuff, your limitation is your imagination and how much you know, of course. But again, if you're using just for still images, V-Ray, Corona, but it's also how you want to present yourself as a problem solver, right? I mean, you can learn V-Ray and Corona and make still images, but the competition in that field is like there are always people who are willing to do it for so much cheaper than you. So when you know Unreal Engine, Blueprint, interactive walkthroughs, let's say in architecture, you have massive edge on everyone who just do still images, right? And the second thing, you can start with architecture and you could go to virtual production or go to automotive visualization or product visualization. You can use like, it's just opening up industries, opening up opportunities. And in 5 years, 10 years, we will hear about new Unreal Engine jobs that we would never think of. I think Unreal Engine is the future for so many industries, and anyone who would still using like offline renderers and would not double with real-time render engines, like whether Unity or whatever engine, they will be left behind. So this is a great time to learn Unreal Engine and explore its possibilities in your current industry. What else can I do with the engine other than still images and videos, let's say? I hope this helps. Makadi, إنجليزي ده. Welcome, Habibi. Adam, me, when building a light map on actor objects, such as doors, then I have a problem with the correct shadow mapping map builds without shadows. You know how to fix it? Wait, let me read again. Me, when building a light map on actor objects, you mean like when your meshes are set on movable? Because as far as I know, GPU Lightmass does not support virtual, what was the name? Virtual shadow maps? I have a problem with naming today, guys. What is it? The volumetric light map. These settings here with the CPU Lightmass, they support movable characters. In GPU Lightmass, they are not supported, but we can visualize this. Anything changed? So if you go to, by the way, let's read one by one. I'm gonna read all your messages, but let's take a look real quick at the volumetric light maps here. So to visualize this, if we go to show, why? Stop closing. Yeah, visualize volumetric light map. That's interesting. It feels like we have these now. Okay, so let's do a quick test. So now this is our door. If we rotate it, gonna go back to normal. And let's set it to movable. And let's bake the light real quick. Maybe this is not the best scenario, but let's try. So it's not gonna bake any light, that's for sure. And this is way too high. Let's reduce it real quick. And let's build. While it's building, let's read the messages. For a very long time, I recommended that, hey, if you have an interactive project where you open doors, close doors, or you have characters, the GPU light mask would not help you so much. However, I think this is different between the official GPU light mask and Lu Shuang's GPU light mask, because 100% Lu Shuang GPU light mask does not support movable objects. But here we are seeing some interesting results. There is some red coming somewhere, and here's our door. The problem with movable objects with baked light with the GPU light mask, that they always feel that they does not belong here, right? However, we used to get like much worse results. So it seems that there are some improvements on this part. Because when we use Lu Shuang GPU light mask and we visualize these, I hope I'm not mistaken, because I'm surprised we can see them now, the volumetric light maps. These would not exist. So I'm kind of happy now. There is something different that we can see these now with the GPU, with the official GPU light mask. So I think that's a great improvement, if I'm not mistaken. And at someday we will be like, have these look exactly the same. I can't wait. Like, this is why I'm so excited about Lumen. Everything looks right. If we put it on stationary, it's gonna like bake it, but if we move it, it's gonna go back to the movable look, right? So if we move this, nice. Okay, this is 100% new. Nice. I need to take a better look at this. We can do that while we are working on our apartment, but this is very good. This used not to look like this at all. Sorry, where's the chat? Wait. Adam, does this answer your question in any way? Would you also share some screenshots on Discord and show me? We can take a look at this, because I will do my best to replicate scenarios and bugs that you guys are suffering from in this stream. If I did not manage to do this, whatever project you're working on, you can DM me on Discord or email me, or you can just share it on Discord here if you have the ability to do so, if it's not a private project, right? And for all of you who are new here, when you write an Unreal Engine question or Blender or Twinmotion question, once you type your question, you can always tag the role helper. So general helper on everything, Unreal and Twinmotion. It will notify people who have this role assigned to. So basically, when you join the server, you can go to pick your roles. If you want to help others, you can enable these. And community. Let's go back to messages and then go back to our project. What do you guys think? So, messages. Inquisitive. Yes, but their pricing policy is different. Yeah, when it comes to pricing, like between still images and interactive projects, there is massive difference, of course. And it's one of the most discussed topics. But if we think on terms of pricing, when I speak to my customers, for example, I don't present myself as a guy who make a project like this. Like, how can I say it? How can I say it in the right way? You need to stay away from commodities. So I think the visualization industry, like it's almost a commodity at this point. Like, I have a project I want to visualize, or like whatever. I would see artists and who is the cheapest or whatever, I would go with that. So instead of saying, I'm gonna make you a photorealistic renders or like whatever, let's see, how can I put this in Word? Let's say I'm gonna help you sell more apartments of your projects by creating an experience that people can visit and customize their future home and order furniture or like whatever. You need to be a problem solver. And to be a problem solver, you need to understand what is the purpose of these visualizations that you're doing to this customer. There are so many reasons. Like, not all people want photorealistic visualizations or whatever for the exact same reason. Some of them, maybe it's just an idea, or it's a project, a proposal, or maybe they are actually building this building and they want to sell the apartments. And there are so many reasons. So you need to understand the pain, the reason why people are doing or like requesting these types of services. And you need to keep yourself away from commodities. And one way to do that, like how I like not to present my services as commodities, is to position yourself as an expert in what you do. That's number one, obviously, by being the guy who is going to help this customer achieve their goals. What's like, there is a great book I recommend. It's called One Page Marketing Plan. And there are so many other books, but like this is a very good one if you are just getting started with your career, you know. I would really recommend this book, and it would tell you a lot of how you should position yourself, what can you do to position yourself, and like so on and so on. Very good read, really good read. I hope this answers your question. I'm like going topics left and right, but as long as someone is finding this useful, hopefully, let me know. Makadi, here's a heart to all of you. Okay, this speech is hyping me so much to learn more and more Unreal Engine for. Yes, do it. Learn and like make some business. Do what you love. You know, go for it. Ghost Reborn. If you're motivated, any one of you guys, I know this is gonna be a long stream. I'm gonna do my best to cut it later, upload like the important parts. But what I said at the beginning of stream, please do go to Pinterest, find something you like, a picture you like. Let's say this. And yeah, this is kind of not complicated. Do it. Find a small project, small room like this. Maybe you can take a screenshot of this and make something. Because what would be amazing, guys, if you can send me some screenshots of your work in progress today, tomorrow, during this weekend, and I will help you from taking your project from this stage to complete final project, okay? As long as you join us on Discord, so I can see your progress. Let's read the few final messages and get back to work. Thank you, brother. Thank you. Rhino, that's why I started learning real-time software. You can go in so many directions. Yes, you can go in so many directions, and the more options you have in life generally, the better your life will be. The more skills you have, the more opportunities you will get, and you would not be, what is the word for that? Like, you at some point, right now, let's say you're just getting started, you could take any project. Some of these makes you happy, some of them makes you miserable and like whatnot. The more skills you have, and especially with something like Unreal Engine, you will have more options, and you will take projects you love, you like, you know, that's the minimum, and get paid well for it. Adam, for example, on the door you open, yes, I completely understand what you mean with the GPU light mask. If you're using Lushuang GPU light mask, the door would look so much worse than this. So what I like to do, Adam, while we work on this, I might add another room to see if we could, for once, have GPU light mask and movable objects work together, because I'm very happy to see these, because we can go here and we can increase the resolution of the volumetric light maps. I think the detailed cell size, the lower, the better. Let's just remember. Been a while. So this is in word space units. And of course, it has large impact on our memory size. Let's do something real quick. So I'm gonna go back to Max, select these, make a copy, and just, you know, have this room here. Then select this. I hate the selection brackets in Max every time. Let's go to disable these. So per view preference, selection brackets, please go away. Thank you so much. Select these two edges, and select all borders and close them. These we don't need, remove. By the way, if you have any questions on shortcuts in Max or Unreal, just feel free to ask, okay? Now let's export this again. Let's go back to Unreal, press Ctrl B, go back one folder, right click our data math export and click re-import again. And the door, before we bake the light, let's just fix the door pivot so we can rotate it. So I'm gonna select the door and I'm going to affect pivot only, put it here. So when we rotate, it would rotate around the z-axis here. Now, can export again. There is a sometime soon live link between 3ds Max and Unreal Engine, by the way. We will not soon. We won't have to go back to Max, click export, then come back to Unreal Engine, click re-import. This will disappear, hopefully very soon. I don't know how many weeks or months we have to wait, but live link, it's happening. Yes, look at this. There we go. Okay, I'm gonna leave this at the default settings for now, and let's set this on movable, and let's click build with the GPU light mask back again. See how it would look. So obviously now it's a big difference here. It does not look right, but let's keep it on movable, and maybe we can play with some of these settings here. See if we could change it. Is it working? Because with the CPU light mask, it's so much better when it comes to movable objects in your static scene. GPU light mask, still work in progress. Oh, something to know about the GPU light mask: always assign textures on your meshes, okay? And look here, I didn't apply UVW box modifier, so we can do that. Just quickly select that wall. Which one? I think it's yeah, this wall. $100 or 200 if you use Mega Scans a lot. Does not really matter. And re-import again. Look at that, fixed. And let's click build and let's open the chat. So Adam, let's see how the door goes now. If it does not go the way we want, I took a note of this, because there is some hope. And if it works, like I would imagine now, this is amazing. So let's see. Mario, greetings. Do you plan to do more Lumen interiors, meaning complete project with great results, not just a demo? Yes, there is a project I'm working on. I'm gonna keep it a secret, but it's interior, exterior, really nice project with Lumen as well. So yes, Mario. Sunny Dev, if you learn UE4, you are not only learning game development or level design, you pretty much need to learn blueprints, material, animation, and others. So you can cancel to be level design, you still can game developer, kind of. Yes, I mean, there is so much to learn in Unreal, and the more you learn, it will just open more doors for you in other industries, and it will just give you more options. So yes, good point. Mr. Outwalk, which GPU and CPU combination you have? Which is the best for UE4 and UE5 according to you? If you're just getting started learning Unreal Engine, it does not matter what CPU or GPU you have. It might be slower, yes, that's for sure. But whatever tools or hardware you have now, as long as it can run the engine, that's great. If I recommend something, I would tell you, hey, get 3090, get the best of the best of the best you can, but that's not an option to many people. I'm using now Ryzen GTX 1080 Ti, so it's like 3-4 years old GPU, and Ryzen X 1800X, so it's also very old CPU, and both are great. I have 64 gigabytes of RAM, and I noticed with the exact same hardware, I had another computer. It has Ryzen, it has GTX, but it had 32 gigabytes of RAM. There are some projects I could not bake the light on. So if you can have 64 gigabytes of RAM or 32, that's like something I would also focus on. So I know people who are like using 1050 Ti and making amazing work. The main reason we are using NVIDIA cards is because it's so much easier to create Archviz scenes in Unreal with the GPU Lightmouse. CPU Lightmouse, you can still create amazing work, but it's gonna be slightly harder. The GPU Lightmouse, there are so many light leaks and stuff you would see in the CPU Lightmouse that you would not get in the GPU Lightmouse. So as long as you have a device with the GPU with like hopefully NVIDIA GPU, so you can use the GPU Lightmouse, you're good. So now these are completely black because we didn't have material on them. So let's select all these walls and assign this. And now let's build light again. There we go. Sorry. I have a laptop, by the way. It's coming soon from Asus. It has 3070 Ti 3070 mobile and some nice CPU and stuff. I'm very excited to get my laptop soon, finally. So if you could get like RTX stuff, like the more money you have to buy better gear, obviously is gonna be better for you. But if you have anything like old device or anything, as long as it can run Unreal Engine, and let's say it takes longer to make the light, that's okay. Because I didn't have these. Like when I first started learning Unreal Engine, I had GTX 7060 or something. That was 6 years ago. Like it was painful, but it was such a nice journey. Like, yeah, taking my time learning the engine. And by learning the engine and making my very first project, apartment in Izmir, I like got few more assignments, and I like managed to buy better computers and like so on, step by step, you know. So here, I'm gonna take a screenshot from here, and before I take screenshot, I'm just gonna set a bookmark. So you go here to this arrow, bookmarks, set bookmark. You can have up to 10. The reason, if we press 0 again, like we set bookmark 0, we can always come back to the exact same view. So now I will take a screenshot, and let's play with these settings a little bit. Let's just see, are they going to change anything? I really hope so. يوميات سعيد. وعليكم السلام. How are you? Are you good? Pleasure over matter. Are you using UE5? Yes, I am using UE5 every day. This is the first time I use Unreal Engine 427 since it was released. The second time actually. The reason we're using Unreal Engine 4 today is because, again, I'm gonna say this. If you bake lights or if you work in Archviz, you need to bake lights most of the time. Especially for virtual reality projects, Lumen is not supported for VR yet. So that's why I'm using Unreal Engine 4 today. So here's, nice. This is new. It's not perfect in any way, but there is some hope to make this look better. Now, I wonder, because in Lushuang GPU Lightmass, as far as I know, like now I'm getting confused so much with all these different stuff. Will Lightmass importance volume do anything? So let's add Lightmass importance volume. I hope the stream is not lagging. I can hear my computer screaming. Can I check real quick? Yeah, I think it's fine. Oh. Not the boss process volume. This. If you are using CPU Lightmass, you always need to add Lightmass importance volume and Lightmass portals to wherever you have windows. We never use them with Lushuang GPU Lightmass, but now I'm kind of interested because we are seeing some differences. So that's very interesting. Are you guys staying hydrated? Take a few seconds to take a deep breath and drink some water. Imagine if you do this every time you bake the light. You would be mindful forever. That's interesting. We see these volumetric light maps outside the house. They're in much less density, but I don't see any of them here. They all disappeared. Why? Why is that? Interesting. I'm gonna take another bookmark. So let's set bookmark here. That's bookmark 0. If we take another screenshot and compare it with the two pictures we took earlier. So let's just make a new folder here. I like to save this as, you know, some work in progress, leaks and stuff, so I can take notes. So this is the default settings without Lightmass importance volume and without changing any of the settings we have here, the volumetric lightmap detail size and the maximum break memory in megabytes. That's how our movable object looked like here. We changed these, and the door, you can say it looked slightly better, like it's kind of interacting with the environment. Now, when we added Lightmass importance volume, it's like, it's so bad. That's interesting. I don't know why this has happened. So let's make this slightly bigger. And let's make light again. Now these appeared again. Let's go back to chat. Wow, so many messages. Please add this live stream into your channel. It's gonna stay on the channel. I just need to change the thumbnail because that was another project and I wanted to go fast today. So you got it. Sunny Dev, thank you for showing up today. I will see you very soon, buddy. I hope I didn't miss any messages. Yomi outside, I hope you're doing well, brother. So I hope I answered your question, Mr. Outwalk, with the hardware. Let me know if you need any help. UE5, yes, every day. Adam, my man, you get it. Good stuff. Bika, hi Yahya, thanks for doing this. Thank you. Thank you for being here. So I just joined the stream and I'm not sure if you have answered this question already. I'm having a problem when building light maps on movable doors that open with blueprint. We are taking a look exactly at this right now. So in Lushuang GPU light maps, we won't have these volumetric light maps all over. And to visualize these, if you go to, you can debug how, like, every sphere, it's trying to capture the ambient light, the type of lights that are supposed to be here. And I don't think they're working. Let me press G. Because this is supposed to be so much brighter, but it's not. However, we can do a test. So I'm gonna take screenshot here and I'm gonna make with the CPU light mask, okay? And I think with the CPU light mask, it should be normal. Let's wait and see. Interesting. Wait, what type of light is this? Let's set it to static. Actually, let's also use another type of light. There are some supported and unsupported. Ah, okay, look. With the CPU light mask, we have basically a much better result than the CPU light mask when it comes to volumetric light maps. And if we look at the door here, it's like now it's almost completely black because like it's so dark here. It's a movable object, by the way. And if we open it or close it, it's gonna like stay the same. It's gonna actually interact with the environment. And like, if we move this movable object, put it near these spheres, it will try to replicate the same lighting on it. So here, obviously it's bright. If we go to a darker room, wow, it's so dark here. Why? Let's get some sun into our apartment. But if we move the door, the movable door to this room, completely black. Now, I suppose if we use the GPU light mask, this will look brighter. Yep. So, unfortunately then, to answer your question, Adam and Bika, if you have currently, I mean, if you have movable objects, like opening and closing doors with blueprint in Unreal Engine, you should use the CPU light mask in order for the volumetric light maps to work as they are supposed to be. However, like the main reason I was using GPU light mask now with the volumetric light maps, because they used not to work at all. So I'm kind of surprised to see these now with the GPU light mask. Now these are for the CPU light mask, but I'm like, there is some hope in maybe with the GPU light mask that we could get better results, but unfortunately not yet. If not now, maybe Unreal Engine 5 and Lumen. That's what makes me super excited that everything will just work. So unfortunately, guys, we just did this test. If you want this movable object to integrate well with the lighting around it, based on the sun we have, the lights, artificial lights we have and all, for movable objects, GPU light mask, not yet. We gotta wait. or just use Unreal Engine 5 if your project is not for VR. Because I'm gonna do one final test. With the CPU light mask now, the door should, replicate the environment around it. It's dark, and it's like getting some lights here, from outside, and looks good, especially for movable object. It would not change the color, when you have a static mesh or like a door, before you open it with Blueprint, it look amazing, and once you move it, it becomes like this. So that's the problem with the GPU light mask still. I'm gonna press Ctrl L to bring in some sun. Why there is no sun entering? Hello? Okay, I don't know why. Like we're supposed to... Okay, let's say this. I think one solution to this, if we select the sun and rotate it manually. Yeah. If you just move the sun and rotate it manually, now we have like this preview again, and we can press Ctrl L and, move the sun to enter your apartment or whatever. So let's say this. And when I press Ctrl L, I move my mouse, whether left and right, then up and down. I don't move all at once because it's gonna be so confusing. So left, right, up, down. So down, left, right. You can have the best control over your light. Now the reason I'm doing this is because this is still a movable object, and I'm gonna make 2 copies. One is static, one is stationary, and one is movable. And maybe so we can see better, I'm going to bring a point light and put it here. Let's do one final test for movable objects and how they interact with the volumetric light maps. And let's see any of the settings we can change here. Let's reset the volumetric light map settings to the default, and let's click build. So GPU light mask first. Wigner, sorry. Thank you. How are you today? And yes, you get it. It's gonna stay on YouTube, this stream. And I will do my best to show up as much as possible, interact with you guys, answer your questions, and like do cool stuff. Like for some reason, for the past weeks, it's like, I don't know, I was not feeling so good. Every time I want to go live, I'm not gonna say depressed, but I don't know. It was very hard. I like 4 weeks, every day, I want to go live. And I won't do it, and I just keep procrastinating and doing all of different type of stuff, anything but not going live. And I almost hated myself for not going live. So this morning I've decided, hey, I'm gonna go live, whether there's 1 person or, oh my god, 50 of you. Wow. So I'm happy that I broke the chain of not going live. So I will do my best to be more present, to be more accessible, And thank you so much for your support, guys. This means so much to me. I love you all. Like, I'm delighted today. I was feeling like shit this morning, and now seeing these messages from you and like these questions, it makes me so happy. So thank you. Thank you so much. Ah. Okay, we bait with the GPU light mask. This is a static mesh. If we move it, it's gonna like become completely bright because it's static. It's not supposed to move. The sun is kind of annoying. This is stationary. If we move it, it looks so much better. compared to movable, I guess. So this door is movable. Let's set it to stationary and see how it's going to interact with the environment around it, okay? And yeah, let's bake with the GPU light mask again. It does not look right. I want this door. So do they have the exact same material? They kind of do. Ultimately, like, this is so easy to do with Lumen now because it does not really care if you have there is no everything in real time. This is why I am so excited about Unreal Engine 5 and the improvements coming to Lumen. You don't have to deal with this. I just hope Lumen gets virtual reality support. So, okay, I'm gonna take screenshot and I will, one shortcut, instead of going here every time and set a bookmark, from here, you can press Ctrl and then the number of the bookmark. And the numbers, they are the ones here on the top, not the numpad. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, and so on. You have up to 10 bookmarks. So I'm gonna press Ctrl 2, take another screenshot because we changed the shot. So there we go. I will go back to word settings and increase these settings. I'm gonna go crazy. Let's keep this moving. As far as I remember, the lower the better, right? The voxel density. This is a very dangerous setting, by the way. Like, be careful around it. But like, yeah, this is going crazy here. We increased it 4 times from 200 to 50, the density of the volumetric light maps. Play with the GPU light mask again. Ah, so much better. This will affect all movable objects in your project. So if you have characters, doors, drawers, anything that moves, if you play with these settings, they will affect how your meshes fit in your world with the lighting around it. So now we take another screenshot. I don't know why sometimes we get these. Like, wait, I think it's, let's do this. I think before we have this, it's normal, all is good. So I'm gonna just remove this and take another screenshot. And let's compare these two screenshots. But before we do that, if we select this door and move it, look at it. It still fits around, even though it's set on stationary. So one final test then. I'm gonna set this door back to movable and build light again. Is it going to be bright? It has the same good values we got. So by changing the volumetric light map settings, this is the default settings where we have 230 and like 0.02 for smoothness. And what I mean with 230 is, again, so word settings, if you don't have this at all, just like I closed it now, we can go to settings and somewhere here, yeah, first option is word settings. Let's put this here. I want to check on something though. My picture, is it annoying for the chat? Anything I can do better on the stream, guys, by the way, let me know. So the settings, these are the settings we changed. This was on 200, this was on 30. I increased them a lot. And now this is a movable door with the GPU light mask, okay? If you do this, you could get away with it. You might still have these, you know, like, but that's okay. It's still so much better than looking like this, because what is this? So I'm glad, I'm very happy to see some progress on the GPU light mask in terms of the volumetric light maps. This means now, by doing these trial and error, there is a way to open closed doors and drawers and whatnot to have more interactivity within your Archviz projects. And that's the whole point of learning Unreal Engine, right? To have more interactivity. No one wants static images or static meshes. It's way too strong. Let's disable it. Again, this is the same bug. I'm trying to move the light, but I cannot see it. If this happens to you, all you need to do is to select the light and rotate it first, and then you would see, you can press Ctrl L again to control how the light enters, the sunlight enters the apartment. Good stuff. Let's go back to chat. I'm trying my best to keep up. So, yes, this will say here, fun for everyone. Do you know the type of two-sided material in 3ds Max, like fabric? When building light, it usually has one dark side, one normal side. That's a great question, fun for everyone. Let's quickly replicate this. When you have, like, I know what you mean. When you have a curtain, for example, because to save on topology, the number of polygons, when we have a curtain, it's one face, right? A face where we can even see from, and the other is like just looks normal, or as you said, black. Like, one of the ways to work around this, if you open your curtain material, okay, there is here an option under the material details panel, any material, there is an option called two-sided, okay? By enabling this, that would solve that problem, but don't enable this on everything. Just use it when you need it for performance sake, okay? Let me know if this works for you, fun for everyone, and I think it will. If not, you can ask here, and I know I like bombarded you with Discord, guys, but Discord, come, let's become bigger. So I hope this answered your question. Pleasure over matter. 1 second, guys. There is someone on the door. Oh my god. Look at this. A new laptop. Finally. From here now on, we will get so much better tutorials. Ray tracing, all that good shit. This is a gift from Asus. I thank you, Asus. And let's get back to the good stuff. I'm so happy. I always imagined, bro, I want a better GPU so I can like make bigger projects and better environments and at least record what's going on. So here we go. New laptop. Hi, Ron. Come say hi. I'm gonna introduce you to a guy, by the way. Sorry about that, but look at this boy. Say hello. Okay, let's continue. Oh my god. That's the thing about having cats. I don't know if you guys can see. So much hair. Oh, 1 second. These are essential when you have a cat. Life with the cat. All right. I'm finalizing the messages and so we can get back to work. So live link coming to Datasmith and 3ds Max sometime soon. I just can't wait for it. Are you doing FX effects in Unreal Engine or Archviz? With Niagara and stuff? Yes, I do. I would actually, that's a good idea for a tutorial, how to start with Niagara effects and particle systems and make some cool stuff. Thank you, Pleasure over matter. That's a great suggestion. By the way, guys, if there are type tutorials you want to see on the channel, like I need your opinions, okay? If there is something, leave a comment. I'm doing my best to reply to everyone, but I still read all the comments, and usually I reply. Like there are times where I sit for 5 hours replying to everyone, and whether now, next week, next month, hopefully less than that, I'm gonna reply to you. So leave a comment with anything you want to say, especially Niagara effects. Well, it's late here. Real deal, thank you so much for joining us. I know it's so late and where you at. It's been a pleasure, man. It's good to see you. And I will see you tomorrow, hopefully. Georgia, welcome, Biso. Salam, Habibi. Wait, so many messages. Where are you guys from? So, Georgia, Spain, so many people from everywhere. Amazing. So, Majhul. Majhul is unknown, if anyone wants to know what is like Arabic. So, sometimes when I import model from Blender to add light, the model cannot take the light. It becomes black. Yes, Majhul. That is because your 3D models, when you... that's a great... We can discuss this in a moment, but in Blender, are you using the normal FBX exporter, or are you using DataTmeth plugin exporter for Blender? That's Harun. He's like 4 years old now. Are you a good boy? Hmm? So whether Blender, any 3D tool, we have two UV channels. Okay, so let's say this is the mesh you exported from Blender. I don't know what is the name for that. The channel, the map channel. There are always two map channels. Let's speak about max for a second. Channel 1, 2, up to 99 map channels we have in max. Channel number 1 is always for the color map for your texture. And channel number 2, I'm gonna click abandon. What is happening when you are exporting in Blender? Channel number 2, which is, I'm not gonna confuse you, but let's say channel 2. When you export, you bitch, why you do this? You need to unwrap your meshes. So when you export without unwrapping and preparing your meshes for light maps, you would get completely black or like some very bad artifacts. In Max, when we switch to channel 2, which is the light maps channel for Unreal Engine, we usually before DataTmeth, for every single mesh, we use to select that mesh and then go to mapping, flatten mapping, and just do this. And now in our UV space, this is our ceiling, and this is how it looks like on the UV map for light bake. So when the sun hits or light hits, light mass in Unreal Engine is going to generate texture maps and apply these texture maps as textures on the second UV channel on your meshes. Okay, so if you don't have that channel, or your meshes are not prepared for light bake, you would get black mesh. Now in Blender, I need to find a way to automate this, because in Max we don't do it anymore. DataTmeth would do it for us. There is a Blender DataTmeth exporter. I think I have it. Let's do a quick test as well, and I'm gonna take a note of this. But let's say we're not gonna fix this in Blender. What you can do is, if you open Unreal and open the static mesh that look black. If we go to UVs, so remember in Max I said we have channel 1 and 2. In 3ds, in Unreal Engine, the channel 1 is channel 0. Where is my Unreal? There we go. So if you open the static mesh in the static mesh editor, here we have UVs. So okay, I know what he wants. He wants this. Just wait, because my cat is here. He's like on the computer. That's dangerous. He wants to play. Cats. So in 3ds Max, sorry, I'm saying this again. We have channel 1, channel 2, and so on, but we don't have channel 0. There is no channel 0. There is no way to click on channel 0. So channel 1 is channel 0, which is this. And it's basically like, it's kind of weird here. It's a UVW box modifier, and it looks like this, the unwrapping of this. And channel 2, or sorry, channel 1, which is this. And this is not so ideal, by the way. This is like, this should take much better space. But that is the thing about the light map resolution. So if you don't have this on your channel 1, you will have that problem. Now, let's say you don't want to go back to Blender, you don't want to fix this in Blender and send it back to Unreal Engine. What you can do, you can select that static mesh, or as many as you like, right click and go to Unwrap UV. Then you can select, like, it's automatic light map setup. So thankfully we don't do this manually anymore. Or you can just do whatever you like. So usually automatic light map setup is for the light maps, and the angle threshold, it's going to look at the corners of, or like the angles on your mesh, and basically do the unwrapping based on that. So if you click, oh, I didn't want to do this on here, but we already have it. So it's the same. It will look at the corners and decide how I am going to unwrap this mesh, right? So real quick, if I can show you in Max, like to explain this. If we set the threshold to something like 89, we are going to have the exact same result as here, because like the angle between faces, it's lower than 90. So all is good, right? However, if you set this to 90 or 91, we're going to have some problems. So the default in Unreal Engine is 66, and the default in 3ds Max is 45 for the light maps and like whatnot, and wrapping. It does not matter as long as it's lower than 90. This applies to meshes that represent architectural elements. Now, when you have a chair or more complex objects, auto unwrap is not really recommended, especially when you are using CPU light mouse. With the GPU light mouse, one of the reasons we recommend it and we use it, it's sometimes you can get away with automatic unwrap on organic type of objects like sofa, bed, curtain, and whatnot. It would, I don't know how it works, but we won't really care about this type of stuff. For CPU light mouse, you need to be so careful on your light maps, on how you unwrap. Now, I want to do quick test in Blender here. So here we have a Blender, we have a nice cube. What did I do? I made a copy of this. I will do just like all Blender user does. Delete the cube and hit the cube again. Click export, DataTMeth. I have a DataTMeth plugin. And to get that plugin for your exporter, if you just type Blender DataTMeth, UE4, UE5, whatever, there is the GitHub page. So Blender DataTMeth export. Where is the download? Yeah, you can download it. And in Blender, real quick, you can go to Preferences, Add-ons, and there we go. Like, so when you click Install, you can select that plugin you installed, enable the exporter, and when we go to File, Export, DataTMeth. So let's set this in DT here. I'm gonna call it cube. Blender cube. Let's see here. So export animations, modifiers, these are options that has to do with data math. And if you want to know exactly what this exporter for Blender does, there is like the documentation here is very good. And they have also Discord server as well. I don't want to like go off topic for this, but basically if you're using Blender, you can get data math. It's made by the community. So let's quickly export and let's go back to Unreal. I'm gonna close this by, if you want to close Windows as fast as possible, just like Windows, if you middle mouse button, it will close these windows for you. Let's save everything and let's go to data math and select our cube. Where did I save it? Ah, there we go. That's weird. Ah, sorry, I didn't see it. Click import. So this is the cube with the default material that came with data math from Blender. Cool. And if we open the cube and to take a look at these settings here, we have it is unwrapped. I think data math unwrapped it for us. I'm not sure. Let's do another test real quick, because now if we bake the light, this cube would not look black. Right? There is something I want to talk in a second about the texel density and like the spacing between these, how to change this, because this is not optimal. You can get so much better lighting by taking more space with these faces. That's just in a few moments. Now, I believe if we just export as FPX, so let's go DT temp cube.fpx, keep everything at default, and go back to Unreal. Right click. I think my picture is in the, sorry, not right click, add import here. Import an asset, and here's our cube. I'm gonna keep everything at default except for create new materials. I don't want a material. Here's our cube, and it is also unwrapped, or it took channel 1 here and stretched it slightly from channel 0 to channel 1. So this also means if we bake the light on this cube, it would not look black. However, thinking about it now, where is the message again? Oh my god, so many windows. Let's close some. Get out of here. Get out of here. Yeah. I'm gonna have the exact same cube that we just exported using the GPU light mask. And I'm gonna build light again. So build light, one have material on it and the other does not have material on it. I think both will look fine, because for some reason sometimes with the GPU light mask, if you have a mesh without a material applied on it, it's gonna look completely black. So that could be the answer for your question, Majhul. If you still have any problems, join us on Discord, send me some screenshots, and let's see how it goes. But just make sure you unwrap your meshes so you don't have black, like the black texture on it. And for safety, like in Unreal 426, with the official GPU light mask, any mesh that does not have a material on it, that have the word grid material, would look pitch black, like completely black. So just keep that in mind. So if you're working on a project that does not have textures, I think we can replicate here. So let's remove the texture, build the light. You see here? I don't know why it didn't work here, but here, because this mesh does not have material on it, it's now completely black, even though it's unwrapped and everything. So keep that in mind. And I hope this helps. Let's cancel the build apply our material again. Let's save and let's continue the messages. I never used it in 426 until I saw prompt in the log that one needs to be added. 427. Salam Habibi. I'm not sure that I hope I didn't miss any of your messages. If I did, please write the message again. And what would be nice to help me read, guys, if you can type like question, right? And then type your question. This would help me like keep track of your questions so I won't miss anything. If I did, I'm sorry in advance. Have you thought switch to Blender? Of course, I use Blender. I'm learning Blender, but I'm using it for like something completely different from Archviz to create some art, you know, like real quick, not to show off, but I love creating space scenes in Blender. So most of these renders, so these are marmoset, but one of my favorite projects like this kind of stuff, I love using Blender in it because it just, you get so much nice results, you know, especially with displacements and whatnot. It's slightly trickier to do this kind of displacement, like real very quick stuff in Unreal, but Blender is amazing. I love it. And final switch someday, I don't know, who knows, but all of these are just tools you can add to your arsenal, you know. But I love Blender to answer your question. You need to fix overlapping. That is right. Please, can you tell me? I hope I answered you. If you still have the same problem with the black stuff, let me know. Say, if you don't use the light mass importance volume, the GPU Baker will use the level bounding box. Yes. And with the Lushuang GPU light mass, I don't think it used any of these before. But with Lushuang, we don't use, like, there is no need for use the light mass and the light mass portals. Speaking, well, since now this worked, I think light mass portals are going to make a difference because all of this is new to me in the new GPU light mass. I'm so happy I jumped on 427. I'm gonna do extensive like rendering tests later after the stream because I don't want to build the light a million times. And for faster light bake, I will reset these to default so we don't have like this extra so much detail that we don't need. So I'm gonna click build. Yeah, that's interesting. Good stuff. Good stuff. Yep, I can see that. I'm so happy about the new improvements for the GPU light mass in 427. It is definitely now, based on what we saw so far, usable. In 426, I had so many bugs, it drove me crazy. Nice. Yeah. Interesting, by the way. This green, I am 100% certain it's from the progress bars, no? Yeah, I saw the progress bar somewhere here. It's still not perfect. That's okay. There is always ways to fix this. Baking, if you can turn off this, it's gonna be like 10 times faster. Huh. Now it's gone. Weird. Well, still, I'm so happy to see improvement. And I can't wait for the final improvements for Lumen, my guys. Unreal Engine 5, let's go. Thank you so much. Biso, thank you so much for being here. All of you guys. I told you, you make me happy. I love you guys. My boy. Greetings from Germany. Rainer, greetings to you here from Istanbul. By the way, I'm from Syria, but I live in Istanbul, just to clarify something. And greetings to all of you, my guys. So, as a noob, I am a noob here too. All of us are noobs. I was wondering if I should dive into UE5 or is it not ready for production, cinematic, no VR? If you want to learn the next generation, the tools of like next generation content creation, Unreal Engine 5 is the way to go. Like you can start learning Unreal Engine 5 today and make amazing projects with it today, cinematics and whatnot, and all is good. If you encountered some bugs and whatnot, then well, we can always try to solve these bugs, and there is also the option, hey, let's wait for the final release. Now, the good thing about Unreal Engine 5 and Unreal Engine 4, both of them are the same software, but different UI. UE5 UI is so nicer, and of course, we got Lumen, Nanite, Meta Sounds, and all these new features of the next generation set of tools for content creation in UE5. I heard someone from Epic saying like you can think of this as like UE5, UE4 as 4 versions in terms of that. So that's that. And the good thing, the skills you learn in UE5 or UE4, they can be translated easily between the tools, right? Between the two softwares, because it's just a matter of like these buttons in UE5 are more compact, more minimal, and by default we have a bigger viewport. I would say go for it. Don't wait. And let's say you're making amazing work in UE5 and you found a job, let's say, but that studio is using Unreal Engine 4. Well, no problem, because you just need to adapt to the UI. You need to learn about of course, light baking and whatnot, unless you're working with dynamic lighting. I hear some very strange noise. Okay. Yeah, it does not matter if you use UE4 or UE5. Both have the exact same buttons and whatnot. Just go for it. I was actually surprised to see so many people waiting for UE5, the final release, or like the EA early access to learn it. There is no need to wait. Start learning now, today. This is the best time, okay? And when it's ready, production ready, you're gonna be even more ready because you already have great experience you will have great experience in using the engine, and you will also be production ready. Okay, my guys. So I hope this answers your question, Rainer, my man. I look forward to seeing your work in UE5. Join us on Discord, do something, and share some nice stuff. Go for it. More. What an amazing opportunity to tell you that you are. Oh, guys. Thank you, guys. Again, I promise you, like, after seeing your support, I'm just gonna be here much more frequently. Hopefully every day, but I cannot promise that, but I will do my best to be here every day. Thank you. Thank you, guys. Congratulations, the laptop. Yes, I'm so happy about the laptop because the upcoming tutorial. What the fuck? What? Who are you? Get out of here. This is good. It means like we're getting discovered by more people, right? If you're getting attacked by spams and whatnot. So that's that. Niagara tutorials would be epic. You get it. Niagara tutorials on the way. Yeah, cats and black shares, they do not work together. Can I ask you which laptop is? So let's just continue here. Asos, yeah, I got here these messages. The laptop is Asus ProArt Series 16. It is this one. It has 3070 as a GPU. It has Ryzen 5000 something, 5900, 3070. I think the one I got is 32 gigabytes of RAM, not 64. And it has like all the stuff laptop have. Now, to be honest, the main reason I am excited about the laptop is not the specs as much as I can finally leave this apartment, go to a coffee shop or visit a friend or anything and work outside of this environment. Because I've been sitting in this apartment for the past 10 months. And the problem with this apartment, it's great, but it's so far from the city center. So all my friends live in the city center, and I don't think I saw a human being in this like 10 months except for a few times only. And human interaction is so important. So this is why I'm excited about the laptop. Yes, we're gonna make amazing tutorials with finally bigger projects that we can record, because I always record like large environments or like ambitious projects, but it would just not work. The footage gets so laggy and it's so bad. So that's one. We're gonna have better tutorials from now on, and I'll be able to see humans again. Yeah, good stuff, my guys. So you're using FBX. If you're still having the same problem, you can right click your static mesh, the one you imported, and wrap it from here. مجهول مامان. Channel selection. You need either to specify channel, and it's channel 1 for light maps. But if you don't want to specify a channel, I mean, you can use any channel you like. I'm gonna show you in a second. You can select automatic light map setup. Now let's talk about something. Let's see, where can we, let's see with this floor, because we have a leak here. And let's say I want to fix this light leak without increasing the light map resolution. Let's say here it's what, 64? It's 16. Well, we should increase it a little bit, but there is a way still to work around this without having the leak. So the first thing we would do, if we go to check on our light map here, because here's something I just paid attention to. And do you remember when I said when we import our using DataSmith, I usually set these to the lowest setting possible? Honestly, I think this is a mistake, because number 16 and 64 here, if we go to mesh, the mesh, and if you go to LOD0 build settings, mean light map resolution is 16. And this is why we have big spaces between our UV islands or our UV clusters, so they won't leak to each other, right? This is why we have here. Now, if we change this to 64 and click apply changes, the space is going to get smaller between these now, and this is like more optimal, better. However, I still think if we build the light, we are still going to have a leak here. Yes. We do. Now, why did I do that? Why did I increase the light map resolution within the static mesh itself here? Well, number one, we all know we're not gonna use 16 for a final project. So, like by having this on 16, we have so much wasted space that we could use. So adding this to 64 or 512, if you are like 512, we can barely see the, like almost 1 pixel between every UV island. So let's keep it at 64 or whatever, so we can have like slightly more space. And let's keep this as 64. One way to work around leaks and light map resolutions without increasing the light map resolution is to detach your meshes strategically. What do I mean with that? This is our floor, okay? And this is the same floor in Unreal, and it has 6 faces. 1 face we see, and 5 we don't. So what do we do here? Well, if you go to max, select the face we see, click detach, and let's call this S_floor number 5. So OCD stuff, let me fix these. And we export our project again. I'm gonna keep everything at the default values, by the way. So here, I'm gonna go back, re-import. I'm gonna keep these the same I did, but I think from now on, I'm not gonna ask you to lower the settings here. I'm gonna ask you to keep them on 64 and 64, okay? Because if we put this on 16, it's going to mess up our light map resolutions. If you know that you're going to increase the resolutions on your meshes even higher, then what I recommend is using higher numbers here. So you can have like the best possible layout for your UV maps. The distance we see between the islands, let's say if you're using any 3D tool to unwrap your stuff, it is usually controlled by the spacing. So when we use like 16, I think the spacing here were like 0.01. So let's select everything first. Let's just set this to 45 or whatever. You see the spacing? I know for most of my Archviz projects, I usually go with the light map resolution between 200 to 500. So I would do this 0.005. This is before DataSmith, by the way. So that's one. Let's say we still have DataSmith and you still need these exact UVs. You don't want Unreal Engine to change them. What you need to do when you import generate lightmap UVs, disable this, and it will preserve the lightmap UVs you created in your 3D software, and you would have them exactly as they are in Max in Unreal Engine. When do we need to disable this? When you import furniture, for example. When you use a software like Rhizome UVs, like this guy, and you want to preserve your UVs, you don't want Unreal Engine to generate lightmap UVs, you would disable this. Okay, keep that in mind. So now let's keep everything at default. Click import. Here we have one face, which is our floor, and here we have the floors we don't see. So I think this was also 16 before we import. I might have changed something, I don't know. So let's assign the same texture here. We might have better result here. So let's see. That's not a light leak, by the way. That's from the sun. So that's my bad. So let's cancel the build. Put this on 64 because 16 is not realistic. Yeah, slightly better. This needs to be even more. Now, wait. 64, please. Thank you. Let's click build light. Yeah, looking better. Now, this, we might have, what? Sometimes I forget English. If we did not detach the floors like this, so we still have 5 faces, then we need to increase this to much more than 64, like 128 or 256, or even 1K, right? So that's that. Like, keep this in mind. We can do the same for the ceiling. Let's say you can do it for any mesh. So for example, this wall here. So let's do this. This is 16. Let's put it also on 64, and let's direct the sun toward it, and let's quickly build the light again, and take a screenshot, and then detach the mesh and import it again to see what type of difference we're going to have. And while doing that, let's read the messages. So Niagara, we agreed, it's coming soon. Hopefully not in 3 months. If not, we're gonna go live, do some Niagara stuff. I love Niagara particles. Greece, Taba CG, welcome. Nice. Can't wait to learn too. Hell yeah. Adam, is it possible on actor objects such as this door to build light on the CPU? No. It has to be either the CPU or the GPU light mass, unfortunately. Sebastian, well, Howie, greetings from Philippines. Awesome tutorial as always. Thank you, bro. Much appreciated. Google, do you know Bet Cube Byte? A bet cam with treat. I don't know. I don't know it, but like one of my favorite toys. It drives him crazy. It's like laser pointer. He just, I wish the camera is like less stationary. I would show you guys. You would die laughing looking at Harun, my cat, trying to catch the laser. It's been 4 years and he didn't cast the laser yet. And he still, to this day, run like I do this with the laser sometimes. And he would run around himself like this, trying to cast that laser. He's so funny. Thank you. I will take a look at that pet cube. It would be so funny just to... Because poor cat, he's getting bored sometimes. It's a small apartment. There's only me and him. So you always need like... Cats can get depressed too. Actually, he was depressed. So recently, I don't know if you can see, he lost some hair. And this happens when he gets depressed. Go. Good boy. Sebastian, hey man, what would the process to export from Maya? That was a question we got asked earlier. I wish we had live link data met with Maya, but we don't. The answer we got from the chat is FPX, Alembic, and what is the universal USD, I guess. I took a note on Maya, what would be the best way, so I will get Maya and experiment with it and see how can we streamline it more. But I think FPX and like the other Alembic and whatnot is one of the best ways to export from Maya to Unreal. You are great. Thank you. You great. So I need some guidance for unwrapping body items. You get it. Expect maybe tomorrow, after tomorrow, or like in the next stream, I would install Rhizome UVs again, because I think the last time I did some unwrapping 1 year ago. So we would do some unwrapping and chill. Sounds good? Cats like to have their own paper laptop. Yeah, that's true. He always jumps on the keyboard. So I hope all these messages are gone. I don't know what is this. Hey, William, thank you, buddy. It's good to see you. Wow, so many messages, guys. I hope I'm not missing any messages. So, William, wow, buddy, thank you. It's good to see you, man. So, Van Jack, thank you. I'm glad you were finding this stuff useful, my guys. Hey, look at that. Wow, good stuff, my guy. Wow, it's good to see all of you. Nice, nice. Did you made that? Don't tell anyone, but could be me. William, I've also had issues with the progress bars bleeding into the light maps. Yes. Fortunately, just disabling them did the trick. That was what I was thinking about, disabling these. Like, yeah, we can. You can see like there is some green. Can you see it? So yeah, I think that's a problem can get fixed soon. I don't think it's that critical, but anyone, guys, if you have like some bleeding green, it is the progress bars, just like your boy William said. Weasel, it's so good to see you, man. Super weird indeed. Google EFO. Did your upper neighbor made a bull? Yeah. Like, do you hear the noise? I'm sorry about the noise, but holy shit. I don't know. It scared me. And this mic is not supposed to carry out the outer world sounds, so that's weird. Xbaruka, I have a question. Of course, about GPU light mass. Get out of here. What is the best way to make UE5? So, ask your question. Please go ahead. I'm scrolling down. I'm gonna see it. So, Lionel, what is the best way to make UE5 material library for reuse on future projects? Master materials, but let's see what William said. I'm sure you have a better answer. So material libraries are usually project-based, so you could have a project dedicated to materials and such. Only, and such only. And then just migrate those assets to another project when you need it. That is the perfect answer, actually. There is probably a smarter way to do it, but this has worked for me in productions. I think that's one of the best ways to do it. So the thing is about Unreal Engine, if you're a beginner or just getting started, imagine it's just like growth. It's exponential. You would start so slow, making your materials, building your assets, your libraries and whatnot. And the more materials and like the assets you use over and over and over and over again, if you just make a master project, and what I mean with master project, like, hey, let's say this is our master project, but you should have better folder structures. So actually look here, what I did, because I always suffer the same problem. Like I had master project, but it got so big, I deleted it and I lost everything. Keep that in mind. You can underscore library or like something you can distinguish. And the reason underscore, so it can always stay on top. So you won't, when you have so many projects or folders here, you won't get lost. So when you have a master project, let's say, or a project that is specially made for the assets you always use, materials, blueprint, furniture, anything, then when you have a new project, you open your project. Let's say this is our master project, and we right click on any asset we want, asset actions, migrate, save or not. It will tell you, hey, this asset needs these assets. So basically just the master material, and it always preserves the same folder, right? So if you may have noticed, if by looking at my YouTube videos or other live streams, I always have projects here. The way I like to work is this. I have projects and VRD across all my projects, not VRD, but at least projects here. So I like always structured the same folder structure on every Unreal Engine project, whether 4 or 5. When you migrate between projects, it will save you tons of time. So William's answer is perfect. It's exactly, it is, I think, what all of us do, is having a master project and migrate from it. Now, here, Harun. What I also like to do, I usually have a master project for so much hair. Harun, I hate you. I have a project for, like, here's an example. I'm gonna show you something. The marketplace content, right? We have, like, just wait. Imagine adding the same content over and over and over again to your projects. You need like 6 terabytes. So another concept I like to work with is having a master project for the most used marketplace content I usually use, which is, let's say, Proshify, Maui landscapes, and whatnot. And I have a project here, not this. I don't know why this, actually this one, called My Environments or Environment Art. And it has, if we go here, show in all folder, if we go to content, look how many folders I got. These are all the assets I use from the marketplace all the time. And some of them, like, there's also some kit bash kits and whatnot. And if you go to content again, sorry, projects. So actually, instead of VRD for my library, I have like lib, and I have HDRIs, landscapes, materials, and whatnot. So like, it doesn't matter what you name it, as long as you put underscore, so it's always on the top. So projects, these are some of my projects, right? And they all, like, the thing about all of these projects, they use the same marketplace content from here. So I don't have to create 6 Unreal or 10 Unreal Engine projects for each and every one of these, and then add the same assets over and over to all of these. This would just take so much space. So let's say I finished this project, right? What I would do to archive it is to, like, right click this map. Let's say this is my project. So here's projects again. I right click, I migrate this. It will take all the files I need. And sorry, to a new Unreal Engine project after I migrate this map, and it won't have like all of these. And I do this especially when I want to archive my projects once I finish working with them on a master project like this. So I have master project for environments, and I have master project for Archviz. I had for Archviz. Something to be careful of, try not to add so much to your project. Like my master Archviz project, it was like 120 gigabytes, and it got corrupted. I don't know why, but it had like 10 months of work gone. It would not open, it just nothing. gone, you know. So just keep that in mind when you make your master project, and always backups. And you may have noticed, like, I work on Dropbox all the time just for this. And yeah, I hope this helps. And great answer, William, my man. Can you tell me more about Radiance caching? So to be honest, I still didn't use GPU Lightmass as I supposed to use, because I never, like in 420, today is the first time ever I use 427 with the GPU Lightmass, finally discovering the new updates. So I don't have a lot to tell about Radiance caching, but here's what I can do. I can take a note. I will do my research and maybe make a short video on this topic only, or like what are the best practices with the GPU Lightmass. I'm sorry I don't have an answer now, but very soon I will. And that's a great question, sir. Exparuka. Wizzle, William, you can also set up using source tree. Yes. Yes, this is like next level stuff. And do a pull request over multiple computers. Works in the same way as migrating, but great for working from different PCs. Wizzle, make us a tutorial, bro. This is some good stuff here. That's great. Amal, yo, Amal. My default third-person character doesn't look correct if I use GPU Lightmass. How to fix it? We were discussing this today, actually. So it seems that there are some really good improvements on 427 with the GPU Lightmass. We were talking about the volumetric light maps. This is the first time I see them working in Unreal Engine GPU Lightmass. So if we visualize these, here I have like 3 doors. Let's just quickly redo that test. So 150, I'm just increasing the settings quickly. Here I have static door, doesn't really matter. Here is stationary and here is movable, okay? And the stationary and movable, they do not fit in terms of lighting within our environment here. So by changing the word settings, the volumetric light map in the word settings, so let's even go crazier, just a little, it's okay. It's an Archviz project, no worries. Let's build the light. These will look slightly better. Not slightly, they will look so much better. Because now, as you can see, our volumetric light map, it's working with the GPU Lightmass. This is amazing. So let's also see if we add this guy is so long. Let's add a third-person template. And by the way, guys, if you go to add import, add feature or content pack, you can add like third person, third person and whatnot. So here's our third person character. Here's something I like to do. When we added this, it added a few folders, which is these guys. I like to set color and like give it bluish. So I know like I really don't care about these folders. This is actually not the best color. So let's do this. Yeah. Let's do this. Thanks to the volumetric light map, it's working now with 427, I guess. We can have like much better lighting on our characters or movable characters, Amal. So I am extremely excited that we can get these today in 427 with the, like, one of the biggest problems is exactly what you mentioned. They do not fit as they're supposed to. So now, based on wherever we move our mannequin, finally, so much better than before. Like, I'm sure you are, look at these bugs. Familiar with like when this is always extremely bright. Before we had to use the CPU Lightmass, it seems now with the GPU Lightmass, this works very well. But we need to increase the light map resolution. I think this is a good time for me to work on a tutorial on this because I never touched it for years because it just does not work with Lushuang GPU Lightmass. So this is great. So happy. I hope this helps you, Amal. Tips for making custom light maps, how much pixel padding and things to be careful about. the tip I can do now, I'm gonna compile some tips. When you import your, it really depends on what is the light map density you are using, on the light map density or resolution you're using for your meshes. And we were talking about this wall. So if you're using extremely low light map resolution on your meshes, you need to have as much padding as possible between your between your UV islands, because you don't want stuff to leak between the islands, right? If you know you're going to use a much higher value and you on your mesh, then you can decrease the padding. Usually when I use something between 300, 500, 700 for my light map UVs, I usually put the padding here, like the light map resolution, on something like 512 or something. So I barely have any distance. But if we do this, and like this looks great, it's taking as much space as possible. If we have this on a very low light map resolution, like 16, and we bake the light, there will be so many leaks and whatnot. It would not look right. Now, while it's building the light, to what I told you guys earlier about this, what I like to do, when I have faces that I don't see, what I like to do is to detach my meshes. So in this case, again, if we go back to Max, select this guy, detach. So we have s_wall_10. And these guys, because of my OCD, sorry, I have to do it. The first number is 7. So 7, 8, 9. Yeah, sound looking good. Let's export this. And let's disable from visualize volumetric light map. This. And why it's still here? Get out of here. Thank you. Okay, I'm gonna press 1, 2. Set a bookmark here. I'm gonna take screenshot. This is on 16. Let's go back, re-import. Let's set this back to 16, which is like extremely low, but I just want to compare these guys. And let's make the light again. Let's see the chat. Oh, wait. I'm doing my best to catch up. I think I should catch up before we continue. So, Francisco, how are you, buddy? Is there a way to keep ratio on UVs for polys rectangle that stays rectangle and not squared? 1 second. Just one by one. Let's just finish this point. I took another screenshot. By simply detaching our wall mesh, the one we see from the 5 faces that we don't see. So basically, before this was one mesh, okay? And after we've decided, hey, I only see this face, I'm gonna detach it so it can take the most possible of this space. And we can see the difference. So this is before. One object, and this is after, 2 objects. And you can see the shadow or the light is more defined, and both of them are on the lowest light map resolution possible, which is 16. Well, I think you can go lower than that. Let's see, actually, I'm interested. Can we go lower? 4, yeah. We don't need to go to 4 because even 16 is overkill, it's way too low. But my point is, if you can get away with nice results, like it should be better than this, with the lowest light map resolution possible, do it. do some optimizations and whatnot, because of course, if your project is small, you don't really care. It's just a waste of your time. But when it gets to really big projects, this is some very important things that you can do to make sure your project is very well optimized and yeah, very well optimized. One thing about the light maps, I think this would hopefully answer your question, Francisco. As maybe someone can correct me, but as far as I know, the stretching here, it really does not matter. The light map UV, it does not have to look exactly like the shape here. Unreal Engine will do its thing in making things look right. Why take most of this space? Because it will just make your light map, or it will just take bigger space and shadows will look better, and like all things will look, yeah, it will just look better. But if we take this shape here, in this case, we won't have much of a difference. Like, I mean, if we go to unwrap, abandon, so mapping, flatten, compare this as how the light is going to look to this. Here, it will look so much better. Here, it will look slightly worse. But you can get away with this if you want to use exactly this with upping your light map resolution. But again, what I recommend doing is actually you can just, like, if you want to be crazy, can I please show people how to be crazy? Thank you, Max. Just take as much space as possible. Just, of course, like, be aware you don't want to touch the edges. And that would, like, the more space you can get without overlapping and whatnot, the better your light maps will look using lower light map resolutions. That's one. Number two, for padding, we were discussing this like with Amal in a moment. For spacing, because I usually use like the final light map resolution on my projects, most of the time it's like between 400 and it really depends. Like, I never go above 1000 or something, because there is no need to do that. You don't want to have stuttering and whatnot and frame drops in your project. The padding, if I needed to, I put it on 0.05, so I can still have some space between my islands. This is not the best case scenario because we have only one island, but usually that's what I go with, the padding between the UV islands. So I hope this answers your question, my guys. Let's see the chat, and I'm gonna do now, like, let's catch up so we can continue. Francisco, does this answer your question? So what you need to know, hopefully I'm not mistaken, you don't have to like make it the exact same UV. And of course, if we go back now, if we go to, what is the mode? What was the shortcut? Alt 0? Yeah. Alt 0, the light map density. Where is it usually? Optimization, view modes, light map density. It's okay to have stretched UVs. It really does not matter. But if I'm mistaken, I'm gonna check the chat real quick. Yeah, I think I'm good. So if you don't want Unreal Engine to stretch your UVs and you really want this exact UV, whether you unwrapped your furniture pieces or like whatever, if you want this exact to be the exact same, when you import into in Unreal Engine using data math, just untick this. Generate light map UVs. No, thank you. I have my own UVs. Let me use my own UVs, please, and you should be good. If you want Unreal Engine to generate light map UVs and do the stretching it needs and whatnot for the best like algorithm, something, you can enable this and then set these. Now, something I mentioned so many times in the past month, it seems that lowering this to 16, like I told you multiple times, guys, like lower this as much as possible. So it, like, when you bake the light, it would take as fast as possible. That was a mistake. You don't want to lower these as much as possible, because I just realized when I opened one of these meshes, like let's say this bed, and it was set on 16, there is so much spacing, it's not good. Let's say you've done this and you want to fix it. If you go to LOD 0, build settings, you can set the mean light map resolution from here. So let's say this bed, we're gonna use the final resolution on this bed on something like 256. Then here, we would go also and set 256, then click apply. So it takes as much space as possible within our UV space for the best light map bake. Okay, so that's that. I hope that's clear. If there is any confusion or anything, I'm sorry, but you can always ask me. All right. William, my man, my guys, good stuff. Okay, I think we read most of these messages. Amal, I hope I got you, homie. Francisco, the same. Okay, Lionel, William, in UE4, I can easily use the library of materials created in Quixel Mixer. Yes, and import them efficiently using Quixel Bridge, but on UE5, it's not supported at the moment. I think, well, there are some differences, I guess, between... I tried installing Quixel here today. It just does not want to work, so I wish I could answer this. But you can use Quixel assets. Wait. Quixel Mixer. Yeah. I'm gonna find a way to import from Quixel Mixer to UE5 as easily as possible. That's a great point here, Leonel. It was so easy from Mixer because we already have the bridge and whatnot, but not with UE5. So I think one of the next tutorials, Quixel Mixer to UE5, easy. Good stuff, Leonel. Vika, thank you for pointing the CPU, GPU baking differences on the movable objects. My pleasure, man. Actually, most of the things we saw today, I see it for the first time. So I will go in much more depth in this. And whether in next live streams or next video tutorials, we will compare them. I think the GPU light mass here in 427 is finally production ready-ish. I need to test it on some of the heavy projects I have before I can confirm. But there are so many bugs that used to exist in 426 that I don't see any of them now here in 427. So that's great. And I'm so happy this is helpful, my guys. Good stuff. Nice emojis. Hi, Ruin. Yeah, he's somewhere here. Marcos, is there a way to donate you some money? Yeah. I don't know how to donate exactly, like because there is no PayPal and stuff here, but I am preparing for like affordable memberships on VR Division Academy. Maybe this is a good point, good 1 minute to speak about this. There are a few things I'm preparing to, my guys. We're building a new platform. I'm moving away from Gumroad. Like Gumroad is great and all, but it does not offer you to do this. So we're building this platform. There are so many videos here that are not on the channel yet, and there are some videos that are on the channel, but they are so much more organized. Let me show you an example. So like this is a 30-minute tutorial on YouTube that I divided into 10 parts, and I promise you part 2 is coming as a live stream and it's gonna be here as well. So all of you guys, if you want to learn Unreal Engine, this is the place we are building to teach you Unreal Engine. And there are a few things coming. There are memberships where we have weekly Google Meet, what is the word? Calls, let's say, where we are a group and whatnot. There are special online classes, whether one-to-one or a group of 5 or 6 people and whatnot. And there will be like 3D assets, more tutorials, live events, so many things are on the way. My dream is to build a real academy. Like, in my opinion, this is real academy, but real, I mean a physical area, and help as many people learn Unreal Engine and improve their business, career, and whatnot. So if you want to support me, my guys, later, you can start by making an account and keep an eye on the upcoming updates on the website, because now I finally found a developer. He's a good friend of mine who is helping me build the website. I've done all of this, like I was learning WordPress and YouTube, trying to make this as like best as possible. So very soon we will have this place. It's from the community to the community. You can say that as well, right? So thank you. Thank you for even considering that. This makes me so happy. The name, sorry. Marcos, thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Keep an eye on VR Division Academy if you want not only to donate some money, because that's great, but I want to give you value in return for the money you donate or you put, or it's value value exchange between me and you guys. Okay, let's keep it that way. Thank you, Marcos, for considering this. Whistle, unwrapping and chill never. Yeah, unwrapping and chill coming soon. Put some music, unwrap some objects, and chill. Because I used to spend many hours unwrapping meshes, and if you're not patient, not chill, you're gonna like just do this. And I think maybe this is one of the reasons I cut my hair so short, so I don't do this, you know. Good stuff, my guys. Can you give us your device descriptions? Yes, 64 gigabytes of RAM. You can use 32 or whatever you have. For 5 years old GPU, it's 1080 Ti GTX and Ryzen 1800X. So it's like 4 or 5 years old machine. It's working perfectly so far. And I got a new laptop. So expect better tutorials very soon. There is a fire smell. Give me 1 second, guys. Like, so weird. I don't know what exactly, but this is the ugliest smell I can ever smell. I don't even know if that's like even English, but so bad. Fuck, it hurts. Wow, it really hurts. Let me open some air stuff. And maybe do this. So, anxiety is known side effect for UV unwrapping. Tell me about it. Thank you so much, Max. Thank you so much for your work. I'm not an English speaker, waiting for automatic translation. Thanks again. Thank you, Max. Something I'm working on is adding subtitles to every single video on the academy here. So hopefully I finish this soon. For all non-English speakers, because our mission is global, right, guys? Let's go. Much appreciated, buddy. Azuz, are you working on a laptop or workstation? And can you give us your device descriptions? I just did. It's a small workstation. Sean, I have a problem with the GPU light mask. It doesn't work even I turn it on in plugins and project settings, in virtual texture and Unreal Engine. What it depends to make it active? What is your GPU, Sean? Because I think you need to have an NVIDIA GPU. I have 1080 Ti GTX. And if you enable these settings, so far so good. The only 2 settings you need to check, or basically 1 setting, I'm gonna repeat the same as fast as possible to enable GPU light mask. There are 3-4 things we need to enable. Technically 3. First, from the plugins, GPU light mask. Sorry, are you staying hydrated, guys? Water. We enable this. Next, we enable ray tracing. Okay. Third, we search for RHI and we go to platform windows. We change the default RHI from default or DX11 to DirectX 12. That would be it. Now, if you want to see the progress bars when you are building the light, then you need to enable the virtual texture support and virtual texture for light maps. But I don't recommend doing this because for some reason we are having some light leaks. Some of them are green. You can see here there's some green even though there is nothing green in the scene. And that's so weird. So let me know if this helps you. Sean, just remember to switch RHI, like the thing you didn't mention here, RHI from the default RHI from DirectX 11 to DirectX 12 for ray tracing to work. I didn't try it in Unreal Engine 5, but let me do that in UE5. So GPU, LM, light mask, UE5. You got it, buddy. Buy X Master Project. Whistle. Wow. Oh yeah. Oh, I just. It happens. There is a real law in this world. It's called Murphy's Law. And usually it happens before deadlines, important meetings, live streams, and whatnot. So, Morphe. Whistle, for storing Unreal related assets, connector, and app. Oh yes, connector is so good. That's a great one, Whistle. Now supports Unreal Engine 5. Ooh, they did it. Nice. Finally. I didn't know that. Thank you. So guys, connector is a 3D tool. It's a tool from Design Connected that you can download for free. And if you want subscription, I think they give you 6 months free for server thingy, where you can share your assets with your team and whatnot. But let's say you're alone and you want a good way to organize your assets. Connector is one of the best tools to do that. Like I have it always next to me as well. So yeah, it's free, it's great. And we finally have Unreal Engine support. So I'm 100% will take a look at this. Thank you so much, Whistle, my man. Really appreciate it. That's some nice updates. Good stuff. The other duck. You even have the UE OG. William. William is an amazing dude. Epic dude, you deserve it. Thank you guys. Much appreciated. Where is the chat? I'm trying my best. So there we go. Rani, Desert, thank you so much. One of the OGs in Archviz actually is Whistle. He's I think you just made one tutorial, Whistle, right? Are you making more? Check out his channel. I know all of you know William. If you don't, there is William, there is Whistle, and there is actually, yeah, check them out, guys. Good stuff. So many OGs here. Rani, how are you, brother? You are the best. Stop making me blush, guys, okay? I appreciate you, but I get like blush super fast. I'm learning lots from you. Thank you so much, Rani. I'm so happy you're learning a lot. All of you guys, it makes me even happier once you start getting assignments, projects, or find a new job. So if any one of you need any advice on how to find jobs, on how to negotiate, what is next after we learn Unreal Engine, feel free to get in touch with me, because my goal, again, to help 1 million people learn Unreal Engine and find their dream career or build their dream business, just like me. I'm gonna tell you my full story in future on how I it's a story that hopefully is gonna motivate you, but holy shit, I'm not gonna say anything about it, but I have a mission. I'm extremely passionate about what we do here. And yeah, that's my goal. Why Unreal Engine, not Unity, not anything else? It's because Unreal Engine really changed my life in really positive way. That was in 2015 when the engine became free. And you could say I like came from nothing, like Syria was in war, I was in Jazair, Algeria. It was so hard. And when Unreal Engine became free, I got the engine, started learning the engine, and in the first 3 months, it was like interesting period. After I finished my first project, life just started getting better from there. So what I want you guys to do, I know like I wanted to finish this project within this stream, but we can continue tomorrow always. Make a project, make something, follow along, so you can have work to show. If you need to like advance in this and do it more often, let's build your portfolios, our portfolios. Like let's do stuff, okay? Thank you so much for your support, my guys. I'm so happy. Philip, Brazilian, watching from Portugal. It's good to see you, Philip. Good stuff. Don't fail. Go, Yahya, go. Salam from Indonesia. Thank you, my guys. Whistle. Yes, connector app, Whistle. Thank you so much. I'm so happy we got Unreal Engine now. Good stuff, guys. Adam, will sharp edges in the Blender have the same effect as detaching an object? I think so, yes. Right? That's a question for Whistle. Oh, there we go. No, sharpen edges is just, shading technique. You need to make the faces separate objects. Thank you, Whistle. So I think with what you mean with sharpen edges is that we have a, sorry, where is Max? Whistle is a Blender Unreal Engine expert, guys. And there is a Artstation Learning. I just remembered. It's free now. There are some amazing courses. So let's go. Search. There we go. What? Learning. My playlist. There we go. How many parts? Did we have all the parts yet, my man? I'm so looking forward for the next step. So
Hi,
this
welcome
is,
to Director.
yes, this one. Wow, congrats. 10,000, let's go. So this is part 1, my guys. And it's extremely useful for Blender, Unreal Engine, go for it. While we're at it, still don't forget to subscribe in, not subscribe, sign up in VR Division Academy, vrdivisionacademy.com. Let's go to 10K here too, okay? I'm so jelly, Whistle. Good stuff. Proud. Adam, that's great answer. Amal. Yes. Irfan, it's good to see you. I'm doing great. How are you, man? Thanks for the stream, my guys. Wow. Trying to catch up or teach. We can't export from UE 427 to UE 5. That's interesting because I remember reading somewhere that we cannot convert UE 427 projects to UE 5, but let's check. Okay. This is why I still have Unreal Engine 426 on my machine. So this is UE 427. I'm gonna right click on one of these folders and click on Show in Explorer. Go here. So let me show you something on folder structures. Usually I have my projects, then my project, and I have usually 3 folders. References, 3D, and output. I messed up the number here. Actually, this can be like this. Yeah. So references is pure ref, anything I get for my project. 3D, usually Blender, Max, any 3D tool you use, then Unreal Engine. And output is the final output. This is kind of empty now. I was like doing this for a session last week. But let's say this. You make of this folder structure. While we speak about this, just let's make a copy of this. Nice. And you can always unzip it so you don't have to make folders over and over and over again. Now, why I like this? My favorite part of this type of thingy, like the output or final package, is that you can add as many folders here as you like. Because the main purpose when you finish your project, you want to show it to the world, right? So when you finish a project, you have the possibility to export it to a build. You can take short clips, you can take images and whatnot, and so on. So short clips, you can add like 1 by 1, 1x, 1x. and so on. So here, a copy of our project. I switched from 427 to 5. Let's see if it works. And let me finish something here about clips. I think one of the best ways to present your work, especially on Artstation, is clips instead of pictures. Pictures are kind of boring, but clips are so good. So when you have because also everything in real time, it can take 5 seconds, up to 60 seconds, I think, on Artstation, but you need either Pro or Plus. Usually, when I see a project online, especially on Artstation, I spend so much more time looking at that project when there are clips. It just makes the project more fun. So static mesh editor, would you like to disable it? Should we? Yes. So basically, if I do this on all my projects, I always remember before I archive this specific project or something, I just export some stuff here. So I can always be aware of what are the deliverable. That's hard word. Deliverables.
Deliverables.
Deliverable. Yeah, you get it, guys. So we are opening Unreal Engine 5 now, Rafi. Hopefully it would work. If not, let's hop on Discord and see how it goes. Or you can migrate. That is the easiest answer. Yes. To get Lumen like normal, export. Yeah, if you just start a UE5 project and then migrate from UE4 to UE5, that's possible. Or you can make a copy of your project, then right-click on that project, switch Unreal Engine version, and from here you can select the version you have. Just make a copy before you do that, because if you switch to UE5, you cannot go back. That's very important. Ricardo! Hi people, I'm Archviz 3D artist. Nice. I use Blender and next month I will do Unreal course for Archviz. Nice. Ricardo, I just shared the tutorial on the chat by Whistle. If you use Blender, it's a great tutorial on Artstation Learning for free you can check out. And let's go. Francisco. Nice. Thank you. I'm glad. Whoa. No need for a physical academy. You are reaching the... Good stuff. Yeah. No need for physical academy. Let's do it this way, online. Well, for the next year, I guess I'm gonna keep online. But in a few years, I would like to have academies all over around the world, you know? With Unreal Engine teachers all around the world. So, yeah, anyone who is interested in becoming Unreal Engine authorized instructor, you can also reach out to me. I can tell you what I did to become one. And hopefully, if you want to teach or like do this cool stuff, I'm more than happy to help in any way. The master class is in English, yes, and I have online classes coming tomorrow. I'm gonna make an announcement on that today, tomorrow. There are so many ways you can learn Unreal Engine with me, whether video tutorials, live, all that good stuff. Quite nice. Academy is a good idea. Thank you guys. I really appreciate your support. I love you. This makes me happy. Unreal is amazing, Ricardo. Hell yeah, let's go. So yes, English and Arabic for Habibis. Lionel, thanks for the help. I'll wait for Quixel tutorial. Yes, hell yeah, let's do it. Be careful, does the smell come from outside or maybe neighbors are cooking meth? It's kind of gone. So I think I'm good. I think the camera froze. Oh. No. Morphe.